Well, shit, cowboys. The day has come. It's time to dance with the devil in the... is it noon or is it pale moonlight time right now? I don't know. But either way, these guys are going to fight Baphomet. This is going to get cool. I almost said too many warlocks right there. That was weird.
That would have been weird. Because, well, you know, time travel, your sense of space. I understand.
You know, I'm not sure what day it is for you, but it's a few different ones for me right now. So
yeah, at least part of today feels like a Monday. I understand where you're coming from. Part of it feels like we missed a week, which we did last week. A number of persons, even though we spread all over this wonderful continent, a number of us were all sick at the same time, and so we put off the final event because we didn't want to sneeze and cough. I beg pardon?
Kara says can't hear Kevin.
Okay, I can hear you.
I also can hear you.
Well, shit. Can you hear me now?
We just got a yay.
We got a yay.
Now she can hear us. You fixed it.
We're good.
Hey.
You may now curse XSplit with your full concentration because you fixed the problem.
Well, they don't sponsor us anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karis, for letting us know.
Thank you, Karis, saving the day again.
Thank God for you, Karis.
All the time she saves.
Technical director. I think we have to give her a new title. Technical director.
Right.
Quality control engineer.
Quality assurance. Yeah, there it is. And Lord, do we need it. Anyway, speaking of that, yes.
Did we stall long enough? We have to do the thing now?
Come on. We have a thing. It's where we're now going to go. Some other stuff is going to happen. So everybody who's here, hang around. It's still a big day because we had a big time off. We weren't here last week because of multiple illnesses. One person isn't here tonight for the big finale. Ryan Baptiste is not here, but I think we will find the next time we get together, I will make up for that.
Don't forget about the giveaways.
We will leave that where it is right now.
Hey, Marshal Kevin, are we doing a giveaway?
We are doing.
I'm hearing a voice.
Sure because usually Marty, usually Marty's handler does that, and he didn't say anything, so I kind of didn't want to step on toes. But yeah, we are doing multiple giveaways tonight.
Yes,
we still have two, right? Yeah, one at the break, and then a really big, monstrous, wonderful one at the end, if I am not mistaken.
At the end, we will be giving away a custom, one-of-the-kind Mercenaries of Mischief logoed.
Three of a kind.
Oh, three of a kind. Sorry, three of a kind.
None of which will be in our possession after today.
We don't have them anymore. But it's a Cedar Mercenaries of Mischief Elderwood Academy Hex Dice Chest. So you got to stay tuned until the end. And we're going to do a giveaway at the end. We also got a bunch of game codes and some really sweet custom Mercenaries of Mischief pins that we're going to be giving away at the halftime. So stick around for those as well. You just got to type things in the old chat. Marty will contact you from the veil.
That doesn't sound like a prize.
No, that's the opposite of a prize.
That's the price you pay to get the prize. You have to try to deal with Marty and postal codes. Good luck with that.
He calls you up and he's like, "This is the day you're gonna die," and he tells you your death date.
7 days.
I'm here with your stuff. The call's coming from inside the house. Yeah, I'm
God.
So anyway, back where we were, a whole bunch of stuff happened 2 weeks ago when we weren't here, or when we were here. But you know what? Nobody cares because the last thing that happened was Baphomet has returned. So there is one thing we're going to do first, but why don't you guys take your 3 chips for tonight? Because you're gonna need them.
Oh, is that something I have to log into the game for?
You probably at some point.
That might be important.
Damn it, Sean.
Willie, play into form. Excellent.
This is why we don't invite Willie back.
At the highest levels. At the highest levels.
Anastasia's gonna be happy, but like.
Oh, believe me, I've had time to think about that. So you guys drew your chips and put them on your sheet as I quickly take us back down our very own rabbit hole to our very own poisoned paradise. Before all the fun started 2 weeks ago, Ellie swallowed her discomfort and decided it was time to deal with Uncle. And she strode off down the street as boldly as she could. And, well, you tell me how the last 20 feet goes as you're walking up to the door of the bar that is your uncle, that is the man who killed your father because of what he did to you, and who accidentally sent your brother 25 years back in time and halfway around the world, where he's living a very happy and productive life. But he's 40.
She's like shaking. And it's one of those things where you're going somewhere because you have to, but she definitely has the feeling of I'd rather be like almost literally anywhere else at this moment.
Sure. So that's sort of walking into ever thickening air. It's almost like custard by the time you get to the door.
Yeah, it feels like she's like walking in quicksand. She's like
Yep.
forcing herself to move forward, but it's kind of like, oh,
So you reach out when you get there and you go to push the doors, and just before you touch them, they swing open from the inside. It's dark in there, it's smoky. It's a bar. There's nobody in there, but you can hear like the clanking of glasses and distant conversations.
Hold on. Apparently, Twitch is glitching out again.
Oh no, Twitch is having a fit.
Now looks like we're back again. It
We're
just
back?
froze for a little bit. We're good again.
Okay.
I'll speak
All
up
right.
if I see any
We'll keep
trouble.
going.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Kara
you
says
watch that. I'll watch this. Yeah, the doors just open. You hear the sounds of every bar ever. You've been in them all. This sounds like all of them, but it's empty. You step into the dark, and it takes a couple seconds for your eyes to adjust. You look around, and it's perfect. I mean, you expect to see the original bartender behind the counter. You expect to see your bouncer friend standing at the door. It's that perfect. There's coasters on the table with empty glasses sitting on them that haven't been cleared away, even though there's nobody in here. And over in the corner, with one candle on his table, with the hat off so you can see him for who he really is, sits your uncle playing solitaire.
I walk up behind him and I just kind of look over his shoulder and I'm just going to say, there's a 9 open for your 8.
Thanks. And he moves it, and then he kind of shuffles his left hand, and out from his sleeve, the 7 wriggles out into his hand. And he's let you see it. Like, he could have done it without you seeing it, but he let you see it, and he puts that down on top of the 7 or on top of the 8.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the game? Having cards up your sleeves?
Depends what your goal is.
Yeah,
You
I
met
guess.
him. I felt it. You went.
I'm not sure how still.
How's he
But
doing?
he looks like Dad, but thankfully he's got enough of Mom in him. He's happy.
Where is he?
England.
Huh. So,
I went to the future, Charlie.
I didn't know that's how it worked. I thought it all went to the past.
I guess you sent him to the past, but he pulled me to the future.
He brought you. Huh. You said he's doing well.
He has a daughter. Or he will have a daughter. I think she said she'll be born in 5 years. He's got sons too.
Time travel's weird that way. They'll be 6 in 12 years, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, at least I got it half right.
How do you mean?
Well, it worked out for him, even though I wasn't really doing it for him. It didn't work out for you. And that's who I was doing it for in the first place. And he cheats another card out of his sleeve. And he didn't have to. You can see there was a play on the table. He just missed it.
Well, I've never had the benefit of having cards up my sleeves for anything. But my brother being happy, that's the same thing as me being happy. It's all that matters.
Says, you do have a card up your sleeve. Just leave it there for now. I put it there. You never know when you might need it. But when you do, it's there. What are you
Pardon
going to
me.
do?
I'm not sure. He's safe. He's happier than he could ever be with me. He deserves better. But for the first time in my life, I have to think about myself. What am I gonna do? When I was a kid, the first moment I saw him, I knew this is what you do. You keep that boy safe. And that's what I did. And I was damn good at it. And then when I stopped, that's when everything fell apart. And in the next few years of my life, it's all that mattered. I traveled the country, didn't care what I saw. Found probably the best friend anybody ever could in this world, and she knew. I loved her to death, but my mind was never with her. It was always, where's Charlie? Where's Carson, sorry. How do I find him? How do I make sure he's safe? And now he is safe. And now my next action can't be about him.
You said the word safe a couple of times. Are you safe, Ellie? With these people?
I'm happy with them. And my hand kind of flies to the flower in my coat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this. And I pull out the cube that he gave me, and I move it, and you can see Carson, who looks way older than me, running with some kids.
And he kind of laughs for a second, and he says, I was too polite to ask, but he does, when you said looks like your father,
He's fat.
meant he's fat and bald. He kind of laughs along with you for a second. He's like me. And you look, and there's a family resemblance for sure.
Funny thing is, I saw it, and this impossible technology, and I asked him about it, and the only thing I could think of is, God, Miss Alice is going to be pissed that some lady named Harrington took her technology.
Says, Ellie, you need to go now. There's about to be a hell of a fight.
I've only ever really been afraid of two things. I mean, things spook me for sure, but when Dad came home drunk and that god-awful monster. Seems you can never get rid of the monsters, huh?
I don't know about that, but what I will say, this time I'm going to let you deal with your own monster. I'm staying out of this.
Good.
And he kind of sits back in the candlelight, sort of comes off of his face, and he's now in the shadows.
I
Be
forgive you.
safe. Oh,
I'm not saying I can do what you want and stay here with you, because every time I see your face, it's just, I don't know if I'll be able to move on. But he named his daughter Ellie. She's so
he
cute.
is face down on the table, just weeping into his arms.
I'm gonna go now. You gather yourself, but time for tears is over. It's time to fight now.
And he sits up and tries to gather his cards, but he just messes them up all over the table, and he starts having to put them together like a complete amateur, like he's got no skill left as you turn and walk out the door. And as you do, it's that click again, and you're back outside, and you can smell the dirt and the dust and the town and the screaming and the yelling. You look off to one side. Let's put us back on the map here. I believe I've got everybody where they were for the most part. The mechanical soldier is no longer here. He can go away. But anyway, you guys are in town. You step out the door. You look to your right, and in the trees, you see Jett and it. Jett comes up to just past his belly button. It's way too far away for you to smell it, but you've been under that mass. You know what it smells like. That comes back and hits you. The burning sensation of that skin comes back. You hear more than feel Miss Alice and Lucius moving. You've been together long enough now. You kind of have that team bond. You can feel them closing. The one that's odd is Baptiste. And in fact, from where you are, you're the only one who sees this. You step out and look back down the east, down the road, and you see Baptiste come around the corner like he's coming towards the fight. And then he skids to a stop. And you see him start to talk. And he's a block away. You can't hear it, but he's talking to someone that no one else can hear or no one else can see. And then you see him turn, put two fingers in his mouth, and you can hear even from the block away the strong whistle. And Rebecca just bolts out of the dust, and he just reaches up one hand, grabs the pommel, up into the saddle, and lurches forward. And as he does, he just disappears. Him and Rebecca are gone. The only other thing you saw just before he disappeared is his face. He looked determined, focused, and about half as old as he normally looks. He looked like a man in his prime, in his mid-30s. He doesn't have the sunken cheeks of the tuberculosis. He doesn't have that sort of shriveled old man body. He's moving and acting like a 35-year-old man. And he just, in that lurching forward, you're expecting Rebecca. You've seen her. And in fact, you've seen her in some, oh no, nobody, none of you guys saw that. You know Rebecca's special. Everybody knows Rebecca is special, but you just watched the two of them disappear. At that moment, sitting in a bar in New York City, having a loud and boisterous conversation with a young lieutenant idiot who seems to think he knows about the Battle of whatever. Willie, you feel a hand on your shoulder. And you go to turn and you see quite a heavy hand, but very feminine, and you recognize the nail polish. And as you turn, there's nobody there, and whoop, snap back out of your chair and gone. And you find yourself sitting on the ground in a freshly built building, surrounded by supplies. There's shovels and picks and mining supplies over there. There's cold weather gear all the way along this wall. There's monogrammed jackets and everything else. And before you can say a word, Anastasiya just plants one on you. Just and steps back. Ah, my Willie. Oops, wrong accent. Whoops, wait a minute. Pretending to Genevieve. What happened there? Hang on.
She just
Let's try
became
that
French.
again.
What happened to you?
That baby's done got you talking crazy.
Oh, it is my favorite Willie.
Well, now Santa Claus must have got my letters.
She says, let me check your sack. And she does.
Oh, you know just what to say.
But for later, this is for later. And she one last honk and lets you go. She says, they are needing you outside. The devil is returned.
Hot damn, I ain't had a good tussle in years.
Don't you die, Willie.
Madam, I am a master of war, and they say that war is hell. So I've determined that the devil is trespassing on my land.
Would you like to be next Tsar of Russia? No, wait, go, answer later.
It's an odd one to leave hanging, but I'll think about it. Gun is loaded and out he goes.
Yeah, you burst out the door and in a moment take in the scene. Everybody is converging on this area just south of town, right about here.
All right.
I thought I missed it. Turns out I didn't.
It gets better. It just keeps getting better.
So you burst forth into that. Jett, you are standing right in front of Baphomet. He is right here. You are looking up at his chin. He was 8 to 9 feet tall last time. He's 12 feet tall this time. He's also, his skin is hardened. You can see it's almost got like a crust, like lava on the surface. And you, just to remind anybody that forgot or anybody who it might be their first time here, have no connection to Raven and therefore no connection to your magic.
And I was so broken up at the end of this. And so Here we are. So
you've been outshot. You've been outrun. You've been outthought. You've been outfelt. And now you're standing in front of a living devil that's looking at you like you're not worth bait.
Don't forget that 5 minutes ago, Alice told you how amazing she thinks you are.
Yeah, but then I saw Baptiste do my job and then some. So,
and you did not see Baptiste disappear, so you don't know that he's gone.
I don't.
A cry rings out from the city streets. Don't you give up, boy!
Willie's back.
Are we? So can I do something, or are we?
Absolutely. Tell me what you're doing. You were looking right up at him.
I mean, I'm not completely there. There's just this level of almost like I forget what it's called, but it's like when you're walking in a dream. I'm just like, 'cause I lost my I don't know what to call her, but that important figure in my life today. I lost my magic. I was literally in hell. So I'm just ready to be done. And I was leaving, and now he's here. So I
Self-schadenfreude. I think schadenfreude is taking pleasure in the pain of others, but you're kind of self-schadenfreude. You kind of
I'm just over it. And
Yeah.
so I pop that necklace off, and I string it around my knuckles with the badge intertwined, so it's like resting right between my fingers, so there's just a star right there.
Yeah.
And I pull out the knife that Lucius made me, and I'm just like, you're in my way. And that's all it is.
You prepare and you get ready and you're psyching yourself, and it feels, I'm sure, empty and helpless and pointless. And a tiny little voice, just bring him here, bring him back. And it's coming from up the hill, but it's in your head, and it is very definitely Raven. You
I feel like
squeeze. There's nothing. There's no power. In fact, make a faith check for me.
oh boy.
That's what I want to see. How much do you believe in her right now?
Believe in me.
I don't
You're not even sure if you really heard it.
Yeah. I feel like this is that moment where it's just enough to throw me off, and then a giant fist runs me through.
Well, I was just going to say, we're going to start with you, and we're going to add people in as we go along. You're the only one that is right there. So give me a quickness, please.
Oh boy. Here we go.
That's not what I want.
Oh boy.
That's something.
All right, you get 2. And even though he only rolled an 8, he gets 3.
I call shenanigans.
I do not like him.
It's a very specific shenanigans.
Do not like. 0
that doesn't
stars.
seem-
Not a fan. 1.3 out of 10.
Yeah,
would
right.
not recommend.
Would not recommend again. Bad
No,
review.
yeah.
Terrible
Imagine
demon would not summon a second time.
Want refund, please.
Yeah, demons want bad reviews, don't they?
Well, I mean,
Like a negative 5-star demon.
yeah, but look, it's everything turns over at some point, right? Like, I mean, eventually it's so bad. And it's
At
like,
a certain point, even the other demons are like, come on.
yeah, they're like, okay,
That's sad.
Yeah.
when you go to the material world, you're representing the hell brand. And
Yeah.
I mean, we can't have this kind of thing.
So what we're going to do mechanically is we're going to do one round with just the 2 of them, and then next round everybody's going to draw, and it will take you
Okay.
action or actions to get into the actual combat itself.
I'm noticing Lucius has a distinct lack of health bar. Is that bad? He
has been at 0, according to his token. He has been
Yeah.
at 0 wind for about 16 weeks now.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's dead. Like,
stopped bothering him.
Lucius is actually dead.
I think that's
Got to
just kind of the
breathe.
way he looks. Like,
Don't know how to fix that. But
Yeah, he's got a Redan thing.
also, Kevin, I actually picked too many chips accidentally because I thought it was
looking
broken.
at that.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
could you just get rid of those and let me redraw?
What I will do is I will recall all the chips,
oh, I was stealing his chips, but that's fine.
and I will shuffle. There you go. And now
Him
you
and
can
Willie.
have 3 chips.
You son of a bitch!
Damn it, Willie.
I ain't been back for a while. I'm gonna help myself a little bit. He's got sticky fingers.
That's how he keeps himself above water financially.
Exactly. I made so much money in New York City. These boys don't know what's going on. They're like, this country bumpkin don't know what's going on. I'm in all their pockets.
Turns out it's all an act, right?
Yeah. Aces. Got an ace? Oh, got a king? Oh, well, see, he does. So
Bye,
he
Jett.
looks down at you, and just like you said, you're like, oh, he's gonna hit, and he has a swing at you. Yeah, okay, that hits. It's only a 10. That's not bad. However, 26 divided by your size is 6. That is 4 wounds to your left arm.
All
You
right.
would like to burn some chips.
Come out.
That's the same arm he got last time. So he does this. He grabs you, picks you up, and shakes you until your shoulder dislocates, and then rears back and throws you like a hammer back into town.
Oof. Let's burn those chips to make that not happen. So I will burn
4 wounds.
Yep. Let's take 4 white chips out of the equation. Let's burn it all down.
So you slide back into the dirt. As you slide back into town, some weird training kicks in, and you roll onto that shoulder at the perfect angle to cause it to pop back in. Oh, that'll make you squint. But by the time you come to a stop, your whole back's covered in gravel, but you have taken no wounds from that, even though he threw you right out into the desecrated area in the middle of that gray patch.
Nice work, boy. Keep dancing. He got him on the ropes.
At least just here's the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Queens, jacks, tens. Go ahead with a 10.
You got a 10. So I guess I'm just gonna. I've never actually hit anything. I don't think.
You suffer from Lucius disease.
Or knife.
No, hold on there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Bang.
Look,
don't worry, Miss Alice.
There's one in every party.
So help me understand how this works. Is it like you just throw 1 punch per turn, or like if you have a knife, you just do 1 knife attack? Like what is
exactly?
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Unless you have special abilities, but
Uno knifo.
Shank him. You get to shank him once.
Wait a minute. Did you say you've got 2-handed?
I do have 2-handed, so I don't take negatives from using my left hand.
Right. Oh, that's okay. That's all that is. Okay.
Unless you want to give me more, because I'll take more.
No, you can't have more unless you catch him at the lunch line, and then you.
Yeah. So you get one. Yeah, 1 per attack. Yeah.
All right.
So you stand back up. He's thrown you like 30 or 40 feet. So he's still standing just inside the trees, and you're out in the dirt.
Oh man, can I get back to him and attack, or is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Plot says yes.
Then I'm just gonna. That's just a full-on sprint, and it's just a side. I've never fully understood this, but I'm doing the thing where you hold the knife upside down and you do that like slash. So that's what I'm just running up full speed. Going.
Being a badass
let me explain.
is what you're describing.
You do that sliding backwards along the ground thing where you roll up onto one shoulder, pop the shoulder back in, like undislocate the shoulders. And instead of rolling to a stop, you tuck and use the momentum to do like a backwards somersault, come back onto your feet, pull the knife out of the sheath, backhanded like that. The reason you do it along there is because you've been punching people your whole life and it doesn't require any extra training. And so as you come back towards him, just like crouch low running, and you just throw the punch and you just throw it beside them instead of into them, and it cuts them with the knife. So with that, a 9. It's a beautiful move, and it goes across the armor of his belly.
Oh dear.
And does not go in.
Even Ghost Steel crap.
Well,
yep, even Ghost Steel. He's the thing is he's huge. He's large now, and to do a wound you have to be larger than his size, and his size is 10. So anything doing less than this is your to hit roll. But because he's armored, your 5 is much more difficult than a normal 5. So you just didn't even hit him.
I was going to call you
So, yeah,
Jet Rambo, but you just
scratch down the armor. 9s.
Remember when I said I didn't like this guy?
8s.
Don't
Look,
like him.
I'll be
No, that's not
easy
good.
with
The
you. I
first
have
time
a
or the
6.
700th
So-
A 6. You're next.
All right.
Disapproving look.
You're gonna I don't I'll just roll the same thing. So it's like that screeches and I realize it didn't do anything, and then just with the other fist with the ghost steel badge on it, just right in the same
Yep.
same
Go ahead.
motion. I'll
Explodes,
be
and there goes your hand.
Yep.
Oh god. All right, let's do I guess just straight brawling then is what that'd be.
Oh fuck.
That hits. That absolutely. You kind of see the like I said, it's like the lava. It's got the crust on it, but you see a weak spot where there's kind of 2 plates that come together. And instead of closed fist, and you give them the straight fingers right up into the short ribs, that absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I don't know how to do that with fists. I'm sorry.
It's your strength, whatever your strength is.
Oof. Well,
That would not be good for Alice.
you
Are
just do a
you-
strength roll or
Yep.
all
Because
right.
you're
that's not
brawling
bad.
just uses your strength.
It's not great.
You drive the fingers up in there, and
There you go. That's some
it's
something.
like, you kind of go into sort of the second knuckle, and you're thinking, pretty cool. And he just sort of crouches over and squeezes your fingers between those 2 plates. And he goes, I'm gonna let you have them back. And he stands back up, and you kind of,
Damn it, we should have made Ghost Steel brass knuckle.
That's what I'm using. I got a badge.
Just-
I have
he
a
just
punched
made it
him.
up.
He just punched him with a ghost steel badge.
Makeshift brass
makeshift.
knuckles.
Yeah.
He hit him. He just hasn't overcome the armor in either of its capacities, because
Mm.
it's
Well,
twofold
shit.
armor.
I
That
got
was a 6. 5
was
is
me.
him.
I got a plan.
He walks because he can really move. He is fast. He takes like 2 steps and he's looming over you, Jet. And he lifts his foot up, and you can see the bottom of his big scaly foot. And behind that, you can see his face grinning down at you. And he says, more fun if I wait. And he turns and starts to run up the hill, up through the devastation towards the mine.
Son of a bitch.
You got no more cards? He's got 1 more. So he covers some more ground, and he is gone. Not gone. I mean, he's heading out. He is, you guys can all see him running towards the mine.
Oh well, fuck that shit.
What a coward.
Just before we start the next round, I want to put, I've realized I have Willie in the wrong spot, because Willie, you
No, I just
appeared-
put him there. I had no idea
Okay.
where I was.
Because you came out of the inn right there.
Okay.
The reason I mentioned that is because you're quite close to the ghost train,
Right.
and you can see there's been some digging, and you know what's under there, and somebody has dug it up
Yep.
again. And as you look over, you see steam start to come out of the ghost train's funnel, and you hear, and you look over, and there's this steam cock that steam's coming out of.
Well, now that's just dandy. I'm gonna go take a look.
So you head for the train. Everybody else, Baphomet has,
Choo
and from
choo,
what you saw,
motherfucker.
slapped the shit out of Penn, and then turned around and ran away.
Jet.
That's not Pen.
Who's
Sorry,
Penn?
Jet. Sorry.
Jet, what's
It
the
starts
who
with
the
a
fuck is
consonant.
Penn?
There's 1 vowel, then there's 2 more consonants.
Yeah, it's
There
basically
are
the
certain
same.
similarities.
What? No.
You're not wearing a hat. I'm blaming it on that. You're not wearing a hat. Aha.
I
both
mean,
of
Jett
both
is,
like
but-
all he wants is a hug from both of his deities.
Yeah.
His patrons, excuse me.
Wow. All
Just
right.
forgot this one's out in the sun. My bad.
I
Jet.
see.
Yes.
'Cause
So
you couldn't make any comparisons to Miss Gilbetta.
her
Anyway, I'm done.
I fully accept what
Oh, no.
Gilbetta is, okay?
her intergame fun goes 20 years in the future, not into an alternate dimension.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, this.
God.
Yeah, boo.
Okay, so what are we doing? We don't need the initiative right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna like
Device?
sprint up to Jet because
Mhm.
he just got.
He should be destroyed.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like run over to him and kind of like grab his shoulders and just, are you okay?
As your hand lands on his shoulder, you dislodge a bunch of gravel.
But it's actually bones.
Yes, yes. It was in
Shatters the
there. Yeah,
shoulder.
some of that wasn't stuck in the leather vest. Some of that was in the leather jet.
I'm fine.
Yep.
Did anybody bring my horse?
Not right now. Nope.
It was
I
on
don't
the
have a horse
mountain.
Wait, when was it on the mountain?
It was on the mountain when we were in the mountain, and I, teleported,
left
and
it
y'all
up
all.
there.
Oh,
I teleported. What do you
Wow.
want from me?
I left my camera for you. What do you want from me?
I'm not sassing you.
That's
I'm
still
sassing
up there
Marshal.
too.
No,
Thank you
Lucius
so
said they
much.
got
No, I
Oh,
grabbed her
oh,
camera.
Lucius grabbed it.
I would be
Damn.
lying if I said that Alice wasn't
Oh.
thinking about how much money she could make off of a fucking picture of this asshole.
I'm sorry. I'm sad that Lucius picked it up because you would have gone up there and found a very rude picture left behind by a demon.
I also don't like the phrase. I wonder
We
how
need
much
to collect
money I
these
could
demonic
get for
dick
a
pics.
picture of this asshole.
There's a set of 12. Yeah.
Yay,
That's in
we're-
season
I'm
2.
sorry I took it. I'm sorry.
our quality just
It's like
Yeah,
I
but our
get the
viewership just
spikes, but why
doubled,
does it
so-
have a mouth?
Okay, underneath Alice's picture taking, I didn't
Why
get
is
any
there a-
more Ghost
Why is there?
daguerreotype
does it have
plates
a
yet,
hook?
right? I don't have my new plates yet, correct?
No, you
With
have
the blacksmith shop being blown up and
one-
everything?
Yeah, you have one 12 by 12 plate left that's unexposed
Of Ghost Steel?
Yeah.
Okay.
because you did them running, and then you did the forget me not for Willie. And we'll forget
And-
about
and I
anything else that
can't-
may or may not have
Oh
happened.
no, I think I used the third one for that eagle
hawk.
soaring mountain.
Oh, the eagle picture, right?
picture.
Okay.
So I don't think I have any
the
more.
freaking
No, you don't. Okay.
the Murica
I had a plan
picture.
for it if I did, so I could have lied, but I.
Yeah, that
can't.
plan-
Yeah,
don't
no,
do it.
thank you for your honesty.
Out of the
I will-
way.
I will make
Can't
that.
get a clear
that
shot
will
of
be
him.
paid back in the future.
Um,
So Willie's trying to
Oh.
start the train.
what?
Yeah.
Ellie is talking to Jett, Miss Alice, and Lucius.
If
Did I
Alice
hear-
sees him going up there, she's horses.
Okay, yeah, you're right there. So yeah,
Did
you
I-
Yeah.
past the blown up basement. As you go by the blacksmith's house, you just sort of glance in, and you saw in the rubble there was a big like blue cube sticking out. And as you walk past, you look in. There's an opening in what used to be her basement that looks like it's made out of the same material, like it's cut into the same material,
Mm.
just like an opening in the floor of the basement.
Damn it! I gotta look. God damn it!
Are you going to look?
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's man. I got these hindrances that tell me that I gotta look.
You skid to a stop and look into you're going to have to get down over some rocks, and you look around and nobody's watching. So you hoink up the skirt because
Yep.
this is important. And the world may very well, if anyone was looking, you hoinked it up so high, they may have seen a kneecap had you are in that much of a rush to get down here. Because you still want to get the horses. You
Scandalous.
still want to save the nice cowboy, but stuff
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's like,
Harlot!
it could help. I don't know.
So you skid to the bottom and look in, and there is a tunnel under the house
What?
made out of this blue, and you put your hand on it, and it's kind of like stone, but it's warm.
Which direction does the tunnel go?
You look down, and it heads over. It would go underneath. It heads away from you, but it gives the impression that it doubles back on itself. So it comes back underneath, and that may be what blew up. With something underneath.
Oh man. You know I'm going through the tunnel, right?
Yep. So you
Oh,
drop
fuck,
down
she's
there.
out.
Damn it,
Um,
Alice.
Lucius, what are you doing?
Can I assume that I either heard or saw Jett go flying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Ellie
Then
is
I will-
now.
Then I will like.
I
Did I
don't
see the
exist on the
demon
map.
buff? Did I see
would-
Baphomet?
Hey, Feeks. There, you're back. Sorry.
Did I
Yeah,
see-
Baphomet is exiting stage left on this map.
So I
At
can see him,
speed.
right?
Just demon ass heading up the
Yeah,
hill.
you can see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demon ass.
I toss my broken hat,
Yep.
rip the broken part of my shirt, and go, okay, it's payback. And I start galloping towards that area, in that direction where they are.
Okay.
Round 2, bitch.
If I see Lucius, I was
Yep.
tall and pale. You any good with machines before you go running off?
Done. Just like take away my thunder. Willie, what the hell are you doing there?
And you
Santa
look
got
over-
my letters. Now I'm trying to drive this train up that demon's ass. Can you be of assistance?
Yep. He's pulling
I'm a-
levers and there's steam
I'm a
going
little-
everywhere and there's no tracks. The train is all bent to shit,
Where we're going, we don't
But-
need roads.
but it's
Kevin,
somehow it's working. This train is coming back to life.
Santa did get my letters.
I will get to you in a moment. I gotta check on my friends. Okay?
Take your time.
And you- not that one, not that one.
just took away like my epic moment right there.
No, you roar up to Jett and Ellie.
Oh, do it.
You may have an epic
Like,
moment.
Don't
now.
stop this old
Well,
man yelling
okay,
at you.
Okay. Scythe out and everything like the Pale Rider himself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which I'm sure makes the two of these guys feel better. Coming out of the steam and the smoke at the end of the valley cometh death on a pale horse.
You know, just calming scenery.
Yeah, this is all fine.
As soon as I see is he running up the hill, Baphomet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Darn it! I was gonna throw my broken shovel at him.
He's gone. Like, he moves 17 squares around.
Oh,
Jesus.
He can
Wow.
borderline
Uh,
fly. Like his wings are helping him climb this hill, making him feel like he weighs a lot less than he does.
You can hide, but you cannot run.
Okay. So
apparently he
so-
can run this.
He can, we can't.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna chase him.
So-
And so Alice is
Giant.
perplexed by this because he's like basically allergic to ghost rock. So why would he? And Alice has so many questions.
No, he's gonna need a Claritin B by the time I'm done with him.
as I catch up with Jett and Ellie,
Claritin
catch up
B,
to-
is that the one that makes presidents crazy? No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, maybe.
Sudafed.
That's-
Sorry. yeah.
as I catch up to Jett and Ellie,
Apropos to nothing. at all.
looks like I say to them, looks like we got work to do, and I give Ellie one of the knives I made.
I take it. I'm just like, you look like you've seen better days. What the hell happened? I was gone for, I don't know, half an hour.
You know, a bit of explosions. We killed a giant Iron Man, and well, I lost my hat, almost my head too, and yeah, I
So a
threw
Tuesday?
explosives at it. Yeah, pretty much.
I'd
I can only carry one of you, but
Well, that's convenient because I'm not there anymore.
not. I thought you were there.
I took advantage of this
was.
conversation to leave.
Literally, the moment it wasn't, because the long story short, like even to Ellie, like I look feral. Like it's not. I'm not worried about any of you at the moment. I hate to be that guy, but it's just like there's this like no, get off me. Like I'm fine,
Yep.
I
and I'm
just look at you, thinking to myself, like I've seen some better days. Want to hop on?
yeah.
Let's
He's
catch up to
gone
him.
though. He's headed
So,
back.
are you off after him, Jett?
I don't know, because I don't know if I'm going to grab like every amount of explosive I have in like one big jug.
Put it
Speaking of
on a
which-
train.
Speaking of which, your grenade is sitting in the middle of the street over by where Baptiste
Broken.
did his shooting match.
It broke. I dropped it.
You dropped it and it broke on the street.
But that wasn't all of it, right? That was just one of them.
Oh no, that was just one of them. So yeah.
So yeah,
So yep.
there's an initial like I want to run up the mountain, but then I also realize I don't have a horse. So essentially,
Yep.
I just run back, and as I'm passing through the bar part of the place, I'm just grabbing like, the jugs with the 3 X's.
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing one of those empties and just running up to my room and dumping that just all in one.
You come running up to the bar and you're just about to go through the doors and one of those jugs just comes sliding out underneath the swinging doors. And you hear Charlie's voice go get him, son.
All right.
You head up there's a funnel on the top already, like he's ready. He's like, go.
Yeah. So if I've already got that done, then yeah, I'm just commandeering a horse and headed that way.
Okay. So
Does he have to go past me for this? Because I'm like, put bombs in this.
Because the horses are up in the north or in the top right-hand corner of this map. So you'd have to head in that direction. So that's Lucius. Let's move
no, just casually goes by. Hi, Jett.
You're heading that way, yeah.
Good to see you, boy.
The wheels are coming back up on the train and pressure's building and the lights coming on and flickering.
I want to turn this into a locomotive shrapnel bomb.
I just look at Ellie. Should we regroup?
Yeah, there's now the two of you watching him run up the hill. Jett's gone. Alice is gone. Willie's playing with his train.
To be honest, I don't think anyone's coming at the moment, Lucius.
Oh, man,
Preparations have to be made, man.
I just want to kill that son of a bitch. Fine. Would you like a ride?
Gladly. I'll just hop on the back of the horse.
Miss Alice in the basement. You guys are avoiding this fight
So
really well.
I guess I'll go back. I'll go back to Willie.
Okay, so you're gonna go back and see what the hell he's doing. All right,
with Ellie,
yeah.
so
let's just put the two of you sort of over here in that general direction. I saw somebody move somebody underneath that black spot on the map.
Me.
That's you, yes.
Me.
I was just coming to you. You drop down into this tunnel. You have to. It's got like one of those slots in the wall sort of tunnel, ladders built into it. It's not rungs that stick out. It's grooves, and you kind of.
Yeah.
And it's built for somebody way taller than you. The spaces between the grooves are too, like you're really having to sort of mountain climb this to get down.
Okay.
It is alien. You have never seen anything like this blue material before. It glows ever so slightly now that you're underground. And you see ahead of you on one side first, and then a little further on the other side, there's these red areas, and something in them is moving in regular circular patterns.
Well, we're gonna check that shit out.
Of course, you step forward. It's like a clockwork built into the wall that's sort of 4 feet long and 2 feet high. There's big gears and little gears and things that spin and go up and down. There's liquid tubes that are under pressure that are moving up and down and self-balancing.
What the fuck?
And it goes out and around and sort of comes back, and you can almost see through this liquid, but with all the motion, you can tell there's another room back there, but you can't really see what it is. You have to step around the corner.
Doing it.
As you step around the corner, there's more of these sections built into the wall, and way down at the end, probably 30, 40 feet away, which in your mind, you do the math, is right back underneath the house where you started. You kind of went out, turned around, and came back.
Okay.
And at the end of that, there's this niche. It's the only place down here where the blue rock doesn't glow. And on each side of it, there's one of these panels with the clockwork in it, but the clockwork isn't moving and the red light isn't on. They're not glowing.
Is it connected to the rest of the everything?
You look around and there's bulges in the roof and the floor and the walls that look like cables might be under them, like they're molded into the wall, like they're of a single piece.
Okay.
And as you step a little bit closer, that there's just enough light shines down the end of the hallway that you see a niche in the hallway that's shaped like a human, like with standing like this.
Uh-huh.
But it's 12 feet tall. And it doesn't have a head. You killed this thing just 40 minutes ago. This is where the mechanical man came from.
Okay. So is it like there's another room that I can't currently get into, or
you can walk into it? Yeah, it's just sort of the hallway kind of opens up just a little bit, and then there's this niche in the far wall that's got the 2 panels beside it, which are not lit up.
Okay. So there's nothing else in here? Is there any,
You
like-
look in, there's a couple broken wires, and on one wall, there's what's clearly an instruction, like a set of instructions, because it's got the big bold type across the top and then a bunch of smaller like bullet points underneath it. And it's in a language that it doesn't even hardly make sense as a language. It's triangles and squares, and it's not, you know, it's not Russian, it's not European, it's no earthly language that you've ever known. And on the side of it is the little picture of one of these mechanical men.
Weird. But it doesn't, but as far as, so it sounds like there's nothing that would be super useful as far as like it's
Nope.
just where the
As
thing
you
came
as
from.
you step that last step in and kind of look up to see where this light is coming from, this is where it looks like it blew, like it stepped out of the niche in the wall and just went straight up. Like it just exploded from there up into the world and then went, like you're looking up through the wreckage. There's a hole in the ceiling about the size of it.
It. Wow. Is there any? Did he come up through the house? Like, is this like?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the center of the crater that took out the house, the yard, all of it. It
Okay.
exploded out of here. It didn't
Okay.
climb out like somebody climbing out of a grave. Something blew up.
Is there any chance? Is there like debris that like maybe has fallen into?
Yep.
Alice is gonna try to see if she can find, since it was like the blacksmith's house.
Yep.
She's gonna see if she can try to find some stabby ghost steel shrapnel.
Okay. Yeah, have a look around. Give me a searching, but also give me an academia, because you've got just give me a general academia or whatever your best is.
Okay. Trying to find.
This
the
is you sort of
searching.
operating at the peak of your abilities, trying to figure this out.
Where's the searching? There it is. All right, searching, and then academia. I got writing, and then photography is my best one.
You got
Or I can do-
psychology, right? Or
Yeah.
something of the sort.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that one.
Oops. Yeah, not great.
Okay.
Oh, this is performing. So
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them that come up as performing and then the name of what you're doing. So while you're searching around looking for ghost steel, you don't find ghost steel as such, but what you do find, apropos to absolutely nothing except a wonderful callback, is a big shrapnel piece of glass about this long that's got it's when whatever it was part of the explosion, and it's gone by a piece of ghost steel or something dragged against it, so you can see that it's sort of embedded in the glass. Looks a lot like a very large version of a piece of a perfume bottle.
well, like, is it like exactly shaped to like the?
It looks exactly like the one that you stabbed that poor man with the very first time Alice went off the rails.
She says, she kind of looks at it and she says, "Well, I think I'll take this for old time's sake," and tucks it right in her.
And then
Gonna
as
use
you
that
turn
shit
to
again.
leave, you start climbing out of the hole. And as you climb out, you see, of all people across the street hiding behind a fence, there's Dan Comfort crouched down making notes. And he runs up to you and looks in and he says, "I told you, alternate realities." And he turns around and starts running away again.
Okay. She says, that Dan, that ain't no alternate reality. That's just underground, and that thing busted up out of it."
And you see his skinny little ass running away, and he yells over his shoulder, "Nope, that ain't from here."
Well, I know it ain't from here. Oh, I don't have time for this. And then she just she's going to the horses now.
Okay, and as you get there, as you come out of the whole Jett, you're heading for the horses, and there's a noise beside you. Ah, shit! You pull out your knife. Miss Alice crawls out of the hole, all covered in dirt and dust, and
Yep.
you guys, kind of a worthless moment, grab the horses, turn around. Yep.
It's just a nod. They're just like, back to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you guys burst into the horse hotel, because I can't think of stable. That's the word I'm looking
Yep.
for. That's the one. You burst in, and Jett, your horse is, just like it's got your energy. It's just ready to go. Like it's pumped like you usually are. Although right now you're like, I don't wanna. But your horse is just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's just got that look in its eyes, like let's race.
Should I ignore it asking the question how it got back?
It just brought it. Horses. See, the amazing thing about horses that cars can't do is they can bring themselves home, and even more importantly, they can bring you home when you're drunk and passed out, as long as you get on the horse first.
Huh.
That's how my grandfather used to greet my grandmother used to greet my grandfather every single Saturday night. The horse would bring his drunk, passed out ass home.
That is an accurate thing that actually
So
happened.
the horse is there. It's not actually in its stall because it can't undo the rope, but it is in the stable.
Man's second best
Fancy is awaiting in a proper fashion. And as you approach, you get the stink eye from your horse because you are dirty and disheveled. Your hair is a mess.
She says, now listen, Fancy. This is no time for theatrics, okay?
Her tail lifts. And feeling like she's made her comment on the situation, she allows you to ride.
I'm getting judged by a horse.
Typical Fancy.
And the two of you burst out of the stable side by side on your... Fancy's a Palomino, right?
Yeah, she is.
I'm just trying to get this image in my head. And Jett, what does your horse look like? I forget.
Well, I originally said stallion, but it's a lady horse, so I don't know. It's
we don't judge here.
Dark as midnight. Betty is just a very, very muscular, very feminine, masculine horse.
She's a pony.
We're not going to judge.
The name for female horses is a mare,
black
in
horse,
case you didn't know.
An amazing Palomino. And as you guys burst out, you sort of see down at the end of the street, Lucius and Ellie on Lucius's horse. It's kind of doing this dancing and prancing thing because there's Willie in all his wild-haired, askewed uniform glory, and this train now goes and is now standing back on its wheels, and it very slowly starts to turn like it's on a turntable. And Willie's in the cabin, just
I would like to do a tinkering check if I could, perplexed by this.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a tinkering.
Possibly occult.
It's all right. I figured it out. I'm real smart. Willie's cleverer than he looks.
It's like when you're playing a video game and you hit buttons and you hit a combo move.
Yeah, right.
That's how Willie gets through life.
It's
I
not
never
untrue.
said you weren't.
You look from where you are, Lucius. There are steam hoses, like the metal piping that carries the steam around the engine, that are broken. There's like the whole piston thing on one side's ripped open. The steam area itself, as I mentioned, when it crashed, broke and blew steam all over this area. This thing shouldn't even be making any noise, never mind moving, never mind being driven on non-existent tracks on a non-existent roundabout by a legend.
I just like look at Lucius and I'm like, I was about to ask where the hell Willie came from, but a more pressing question just came to my mind.
You can have a ride. It's okay. You don't have to ask.
I don't know if I want to go near that thing.
Willie, the steam whistle, the thing is just hanging
town.
No.
there. No.
Oh, that's. Oh, that. I don't know if I like it better or not.
Continues to do it anyway.
I'm not sure what I think about this.
I gotta check it a few more times before I can decide.
They're slightly different tones. It's like there's maybe more than one of them in there trapped making this noise.
It's growing on me.
It's groaning on me. Is that what?
Yeah, it's groaning on me.
Hey,
Oh my
different
God.
strokes, man.
So the two
I
of
think
you
it's
have been offered a
two-stroke.
ride. Technically, that's a steam engine. It
That's
would
some
be.
engine humor.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Death whistle. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's
Well, Ellie, I don't blame you if you don't want to go on, but I have a feeling I need to go on that train.
all right.
Well,
If
I
you ain't
can,
going on, I need a shovel.
You can take.
I'll make sure your
Lucius.
horse is well taken care of. You try not to
Dust.
die or get sucked into
Thanks.
hell or whatever
Yeah.
that train
Lucius,
may do.
you vault and
Dusk,
land on top of the coal car, the Ghost Rock coal car. Standing there with your scythe in hand, and Willie just looked at you and said he needed a shovel.
Side turns into shovel.
Now you look a lot stronger than the last time I saw you. So what I'm gonna need you to do is shovel a dangerous amount of ghost rock into this. And then when you might think that that's too dangerous, I should stop, I need you to keep going.
Oh boy.
Yep. And remember, the door's off the furnace, so it's wide open. You look in there, and there's ghost
Like
rock
I was
burning.
made for
There's
this.
smoke coming
Interesting.
out. It's coming up Willie and through his beard and up around his hat, and he just seems
Okay.
oblivious to it all.
He's just loving it.
Happy.
This is the chaotic environment he craves.
Yep. This is a war without a war. He's ready to
Yep.
go.
He's already crazy, so the ghost's still crazy. You know, doesn't really matter.
So yeah,
All
you
right,
start
you
shoveling
just
that,
say-
and the smoke starts to billow and steam, and the pressure builds up, and it starts to rotate faster, and it's digging grooves as it comes around. All those
I just-
skulls that are on it, the eyes start to light up in red. The whistle starts to go off even when you're not pulling the cord. Like you're looking at Willie, stop. You look up, he's not pulling the cord. The train's just going on pretty much a regular basis now. It gets turned around, it's
Captain.
pointed up the hill.
You have
and then
initiated
there's
the
carriages. There's
automatic
like
scream
3 carriages
protocol.
in the way.
Yeah, excellent.
And in a strangely disturbing situation for you, Miss Ellie, those 3 carriages start pushing towards you and the horse.
Nope.
No.
Not fucking
Skitter
again.
away. And right where you were. I mean, you
Far
see.
too acquainted with those
You
things.
swear you can see your dint in the ground as those 3 carriages are right across that spot. If you had been
That's
there
just a-
again, you'd have been flat.
I don't know about Jett, but Alice just rides by all this whenever we
Yep.
come by and just is like,
My thing
So,
is,
yeah.
I want to do the quick math in my head of
Yep.
while they were doing all that, would we have
Yep.
been able to make it pretty much all the way up the hill? Because that is going to determine if I stop or not.
Yep. Well, let me do this.
I'm not
Absolutely.
stopping.
There's no question that
proclaiming that.
Alice and Jett are well ahead because you guys just grabbed horses and hoofed it. We'll let the stuff
Grabbed
that
Don't
happened
worry,
in the
Ellie.
basement
Hoof-
have been in the
hoofses and
basement. Yeah,
Dusk is a
hoofed it.
very
I said it.
smart
I said
horse.
it. I just flew right by it like I didn't mean it. Ellie, Lucius is now on the train. I can't really move the train, so I'm just going to put you with Willie there.
That's
it's
fine.
going to start coming up the valley.
He was not
we
prepared
understand
for
that.
Willie to fucking.
And then Ellie. Oh yeah, I absolutely was. I was as soon as I knew Willie was coming tonight. It's like he's getting his train because he mentioned his train the
Yes.
last time he was here, so he's getting his train.
My deathmobile.
And
Yeah.
Ellie, you kind of skitter out of the way of the carriages, so you're sort of there-ish.
Yeah, as soon as Lucius jumps on and I see them ride by, I'm gonna go after Alice and Jett.
Absolutely.
Plus, I don't want to be near that train.
So let me
At
paint
all.
the picture. About 3/4 of the way up the hill is Jett and Alice side by side, stride for stride, horses digging up the turf of this horrible, desecrated gray ground that nothing's going to grow on. This is going to sound weird, but both of you give me a scrutinize check.
Oh dear.
Oh, the weight is killing me.
Couldn't find the button.
There it is. There's an 11 and a 15. Yeah. Alice, you're riding and you kind of fancy slips a little bit and you're kind of almost throne. And in the process, your eyes go down. Instead of looking up the hill, they look down, and everywhere Fancy's feet is digging through the gray dirt, as that clod of dirt gets kicked away, underneath it is green grass. And you quickly look over, and Jett's horse is doing the same thing as the two of you climb the hill. Jett, you catch her looking. It's like, why are you looking down? And he's up there. Oh, shit.
Like, is the implication that we're doing that, or that there's undergrowth that's been coming up?
Jett, you needed a 10. You got an 11. You are doing this, the two of you. And it's very similar to, it reminds you of the opposite of the walk you went with Raven, where everywhere you went, you left death behind you. This is the exact opposite of that as you charge up this hill. Behind them, about halfway up the hill, that's at 3/4, about halfway up the hill, Miss Ellie, alone. You can see them ahead of you. You can see these green patches where their horses' feet have done this. You look down, yours is doing it too. Lucius's horse is doing it too. Every step, this gray material comes up and flies off behind you and just into dust and disappears, and leaving these green marks, horseshoe marks, heading up the hill. And then at the bottom of the hill, Willie, it's moving.
Choo choo.
You are out the window. You have found, you tell me whether you're wearing it. I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, but you found an engineer's hat.
Oh yeah,
beside
no,
you,
that's going on.
the little brim. Yeah,
Without hesitation.
you are black.
Does he put it on over his other
ghost
hat,
rock
or does he
smoke.
take the other one off?
One hat goes off. This one,
Yeah.
I hand it to Lucius, and I say, "I see you lost your hat."
So Lucius is now wearing a colonel's northern soldier's hat, which is the little kepi, right? The little
Yeah, yeah.
forward folding one with the little flat brim.
Yeah.
What is this?
And you
show?
are got your engineer cap on.
Aye, aye,
You're looking at each
Captain.
other, both going, you're all covered in black smoke. Yet you're both all covered in black smoke from the ghost rock, because there's no.
Oh
door
look,
on
you
the
finally got
furnace,
some color. No, it's-
And yeah, now that I mention it, your hair is like, Willie, your hair is just frizzy.
Oh yeah, it's
Lucius, yours is your ponytail's coming undone at the back, and you got that horrible, that horrible thing when you've had it in a ponytail all day and you take it out and it just goes, I don't wanna, and it's just sort of hanging there. You got that thing going on.
I just undo it. Just
You're
I'm at-
shoveling, there's bits of fire coming out and lighting your hair on fire, and there's clothes burning into your suit. Willie is more alive
It's already
than you have
ruined.
ever seen him. And that train
I'm
starts to
full
pick up
Doc Brown.
speed. And that train starts to pick up speed, and we head towards the top of the hill and our final confrontation. And with that, let's take a break and give away some stuff.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us through the hiccups there, guys. Software, nothing decides to update at the same time. So we are doing some giveaways here. So just like the last two nights, if you were here, same sort of deal. If you weren't, then make sure you jump in on this. Go ahead and type anything in the chat. Right now, we're going to be giving away your choice of with some awesome game codes to choose from that are available, or some awesome channel swag, some AKA pins, and you get your choice of color scheme, and it comes with some custom D20s. Now these are just I'm kind of prototyping on this stuff, so I do not guarantee these D20s to be balanced, but that'll be up to you to decide whether or not you want to use it in game.
They are, however, prototype originals that will no one else will ever have the first one of. So
True, one of a kind collector's
Yes.
items for sure.
Yeah, you get balanced dice anywhere.
Yeah, it needs balanced dice.
you pay extra for ones that roll extra.
So yeah, go ahead and type something into the chat to get in on this if you want to be included in that drawing. And that does not exclude you, even if you win one of those, that does not exclude you from winning our big drawing at the end. We will win the final of 3 that are in existence of the Elderwood Academy hex chests. And these are made of the lovely aromatic cedar. They smell wonderful, and they look beautiful too because they have our Mercs of Mischief logo on it. Elderwood really hooked us up for that.
So even when you're rolling crap, your dice smell wonderful.
They smell delicious.
Delish.
It's weird because it's not like a thing you want to eat, but I would describe the smell as delicious.
It
Plank
seems a good
salmon,
smell.
man. He mentioned it
Yeah.
last
He
night.
did
And you
mention
guys
plain
landed on
salmon.
him like he was talking rubbish. You have not had salmon until you have had planked salmon done on cedar.
I guess you could make salmon dye. Like,
The thing is, you don't even ruin the cedar doing it. You take literally a cedar plank and soak it in water and put the salmon on top and put it in the oven. The steam comes out of the cedar with that wonderful smell and cooks the salmon.
It's beautiful. So make sure you get in on this giveaway. Really just type anything. If you're lurking, don't worry, we won't call you out after that. We just got to get in there, and make sure to stick around for the end when we do the Elderwood giveaway. And also, if you haven't followed us yet, make sure to do that because we are pushing for our next big goal. We made 1,000. That's why Elderwood sent us this lovely congratulations to give away to you. When we get to 1,500, we have a really super cool thing to give away. Our friends over at Forged Foam are in the process of finishing up some weapons from the Mercs of Mischief show that happens on Sunday nights, our custom legendary weapons that Puck homebrewed together and distributed variously. And they made an extra Obsidian Soul Sever. So that will be a prize that is available to somebody when we reach 1,500 followers. Also, if you're new here, know that we do have Joe Cat and Dingo Doodles coming back as guest stars for a second time. This time coming back together with Felix making his stream debut. Felix is the architect of the Fool's Gold campaign that Dingo is known for animating. So lots of cool stuff coming up. You're going to want to make sure you give us that follow and follow us on our other channels. And we will be back in 20 minutes.
See you soon.
That's easier.
Yes.
That's easier.
We're just gonna hang out and talk to our audience. It's fine. Hey, how's it going? What's up?
Yeah, BJ, in case you missed it the last couple days, at the end of tonight's show, we are pulling a giveaway for a special Mercs of Mischief branded Elderwood Academy hex chest. They made up a couple with our logo. So
That
we got the last
smells
one of these
real
to give away.
good.
And it's
Smells
the
super
beautiful
good.
aromatic cedar. So make sure to hang out for that.
Hang up out.
There will be 3 people in the world who have swag with our logo on it, and none of them will be us.
Yes. They did not send any extras for us.
I'll just get John to send it to me, and then you'll have to defeat me on game night to get it.
or in a knife fight, whatever you guys work out.
Look, whatever, we might go to knife fights. I don't know. It depends on where we go.
It's doable. It's up to you. But so
if we're
we
doing
got
knife
that.
fights, it's got to be best 3 out of 5, though.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you definitely got to.
You're gonna do like West Side Story kind
Isn't
of
it-
style, like
isn't
knife
it-
Oh,
fighting?
to music? Yeah.
The one that dies loses, isn't it?
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Best 3 out of 5.
So we've
Person
got
that died
that
3
going.
times loses.
And we are now pushing for so that was kind of like a congrats from Elderwood and a thank you to all you guys for reaching 1,000 followers. And now we are looking to the next milestone of 1,500. When that happens, we are going to be giving away the Obsidian Soul Sever, made by our friends at Forged Foam. So that is going to be huge. So if you haven't followed us yet, make sure to give us that follow. Make sure to follow along. And without further ado, have at it, guys.
Begin.
We are back at a moment in time, frozen in space, much like Ryan's face in the picture he just sent us in chat, which I haven't closed. So he's down below all you guys. There's this picture of him looking up at me going, so so that's where we are. That's where I am. You guys are at various stages of climbing the hill to hell. So let's just dive right back in and start at the top, because I know he wants this so bad. As you crest the top of the hill, Jett, your horse surges ahead, and you see Baphomet heading into the tunnel. It's the full 12 by 12 heavily framed wooden tunnel. And as he goes in, he has to bend down to get in, and he reaches up with his hands and grabs the wood and pulls. And there's a crack of dust and a bit of noise, but it doesn't move. And he pulls again. Damn it. door's stuck. And he just disappears down the hole.
My favorite part about this character is that no matter how many times he should be like worried about the last thing that happened in that place, he never is. He's too focused. So
Yep.
Oh,
so for
we're
the
going.
purposes, I've put you on the all on the map of the mine itself, but only Jett is currently there.
What about Alice?
You are one. I just want to give him one action inside here to see, because he's just itching. So I want to give him one action to see what he wants to do. Miss Alice, the reason this happened is because you got to the top of the hill. You were bolting. Whether he meant to or not, he damn well cut you off. He spurred his horse, got a little bit ahead, turned his horse sideways in front of yours to make fancy turn to avoid a collision. And when the horses went like that, he did that cowboy dismount thing where he just sort of flipped off the other side and hit the ground running. If that works.
Works for me.
Okay, how about you tell me what you did from that point on? And now that I'm done telling you what you did.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is not my movie.
well,
Creative license regained.
This lines up. So it probably wasn't on purpose. It's more just like I'm going and I'm not stopping until I'm there. So
yep.
Yeah, it's just off and like shoot straight down. Like I'm just sprinting in here. No holes barred.
So no lantern?
Do you really need a lantern?
Well, you can see how far you can see in here.
It's okay. A light is coming.
Yeah.
It's about
you look in here, and for the purposes of this, you look down that, you know how it's built in here, right? There's the long big tunnel down the middle. One side's all honeycombed, and one side's just got the one path. Mm-hmm. And you see in the darkness ahead of you, you wouldn't be able to see him except he's glowing slightly. He looks again like magma, right? Like you can see the lines between this stone armor that's on him glowing. So think like a Thing, but with all the lines outlined in the dark. And he's heading towards the back wall, and you see one huge arm come up to the side, and you hear, "Hello, Alistair," and smack, and you hear the sound of shattering obsidian.
Yeah, I don't need a lantern. I can see him.
And I'm just going to drag your cowboy ass token down to there.
Then if trip I do, then trip I do, damn it.
Yep. And you just driving down into this tunnel. You see him at the end. He has shattered the Alistair that was coming through. And give me a scrutinize, please.
Oh boy. Hey.
Nice.
Oh, hey, there he is.
Okay. You come to a stop. I mean, you don't mean to, but you skid to a stop because out of that obsidian wall, it starts to stretch like it's not solid rock. And this hand just starts coming out like that. It's a female hand. It's Raven's hand. Bring him to me.
Oh,
Miss Alice. Boy. You come charging up to the top, skid to a stop. That stupid boy ran into the mine.
100% that's what she's...
Yep. I know you guys by now.
Yeah.
So you sort of at least up to the door to look down, and you see him right at the edge of your vision. You see him. He was running, and he's just skidded to a stop. And he's looking into the darkness ahead of him. And all you can see is like a couple pieces of jigsaw puzzle, but outlined in red in the distance. It's kind of hard to tell. It's gotta be Baphomet, but it's kind of hard to tell.
All right, well, I'm taking a lantern.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and grab one. They should be grabbable.
I ain't no dummy.
Aimable. Yep.
Yeah. And I guess I'm gonna come up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like I just want to be here. There we go. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out why he's here. He comes rushing in, leaving me out there, and then he just stops. The fuck. So I'm trying to figure out what he's doing, like what he's looking at, what he's doing.
And now with the lantern casting even more light down there, you can see he has shattered the Alistair that was coming out is gone, shattered, broken. It's hollow inside. But that's not what he's looking at. He's off to the side. There's something sticking out. And when you shine the light on it, it's kind of hard to tell because of all the shadows that it generates. Because it's got, if you think about a lantern shining through a hand, it's going to leave weird shadows behind it, right? So
yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but that's what he's staring at. Not at the shattered Alistair. Miss Ellie, you come rolling over the top of the ridge, 2 horses sort of wandering off, one in each direction, and nobody. You can't see anybody. You see the light of a lantern bobbing in the tunnel.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of like slow dusk and then jump off as well and rush in.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'm gonna draw my pistol just in case, although I don't think using it in here would be smart.
Right. So you can go ahead and grab a lantern and drag that with you. So yeah, you've got or a torch, whichever you prefer. So you're kind of gun in hand going, hi, do you shoot demons? I'm not sure, but what else am I gonna do?
Hold on. I can't see.
If not, it should be fair. You can't see?
No, there I am. No, my thing was zoomed in.
Bottom left corner. Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. So you look down and you see the 2 of them, Jett in the middle of this long hallway, Miss Alice just hand on his shoulder. Alice? Or no?
Probably like not on his shoulder, but kind of doing one of these like like she wants to poke him to see if he's alive, almost like.
Yep. So there's only 2 more people to get here, but we're going to pop back to the front of the line and go through one more time. Jett, the 2 of you are coming up the hill, gathering speed. This is not how trains work. There's no tracks.
No,
there's
like
you're going up a hill that no train could possibly go up, and you're speeding up as you go.
Until the boiler will take no more ghost rock.
Oh yeah.
Then we're pushing it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On that note, I just want to say I'm rhythmically like shuffling as I'm doing it. Looks like I'm headbanging basically.
with your little kepi on. Yeah. The ponytail's coming over the top like a scorpion.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had that unraveled.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the mane is out behind you, all smoke and a couple cinders stuck in it. You look like Blackbeard with the burning. Yeah. Every once in a while, you guys reach up and do that. So you got the raccoon eyes going and.
Metal stars basically.
Yeah. And by this point, you're coming up this hill doing probably 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, like leaning out the window with my rifle. Waiting for my shot.
Back to the front. Jett.
Before I make any decision, because that did stop me in my tracks, I have a very important distinction to make about the situation before I make any moves. Would it be fair, or would you allow me to make I'm gonna vie for a spirit check? I need to understand just by looking the nature of why Raven is in where she's in. Like, is this a...
Yeah. Yep. I love it.
That's important.
Give me a spirit roll. I like this.
Yeah, I would have too.
Oh. What can I tell you? Okay, I can't tell you, but I can ask you. What was the last thing she did when you were connected?
She said, "Oh no," and
where were you?
In there.
And she did?
Remove me from there.
And apparently...
Oh, shit. This is the thing I've been afraid of since the beginning, and this is what I was worried about even asking this question because this changes about 5 things right now.
Raven is in hell because she went there and saved you, and now she can't get back. You hear, perfect, thank you so much. You hear her voice in your head as you put this together, and she says, bring him to us. And in front of you, Baphomet turns and looks down at you and just grins. In the distance, you hear, ah! Ah! Coming up the valley.
What in the
I would like-
Sandhill?
I swear to God, if you hit me with another train, I'm gonna be pissed.
But it's on
I
a
need
banjo.
everybody to roll me some quickness.
To not get hit by a train.
I apologize in advance if I run over Hannah with the or if I run over Ellie with the train.
no.
It comes in twos. Like, I've
Oh
done it
my
twice. I got hit by
god!
two. Like,
I was getting 3 anyways.
Oh no.
Oh my god, how is Alice the fastest?
oh my God. I have so much in quickness, but I suck.
That's one. Oh, and he and poor old Bath, he got 3. Yeah.
Poor old Beth.
Oh, good.
Hey, 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 hey.
Poor guy.
Think of it this way. Technically, as a collective, we have more moves than him combined.
So
Great, I feel so much better. Thank you.
Shut up, Lucius.
Logic!
So everybody draw your card.
All
I
right.
don't know if you're stuck.
It's gonna be like a 3, I swear.
Okay, do I have to draw last because I remember like I blocked somebody or something?
oh right, I gotta roll quickness.
No.
I didn't roll yet. Sorry, I thought it
You're
was
not even in
get
there
out of the
yet.
way of the train.
Oh, come on.
Same.
Billy's a little occupied at the moment. He's not very quick.
Fuck.
I don't know if it can be the same.
Willie's
There's,
having
like-
the best time. Like every time he comes here, I don't know what you guys have against this place.
Well.
I don't know. Run me over with the train.
Oh god!
oh no, that bodes poorly. What did the train get?
A fucking idiot.
Let me
You
Darn
go.
right.
You go on initiative count 2,
Excellent.
which is perfect. I love this.
So
Thank
how
you,
many-
dice. Dice are grand.
That's-
How many
he mean-
cards
that
do I
means he
get?
can't,
You
like,
get
he
no
can't
cards.
redirect the
Awesome.
You go
train, he
when we get all the way down to the
No.
deuces, then you get to go.
Awesome.
So yeah. The train is
He's a
off the
fucking deuce.
non-existent tracks, apparently.
Lucius, you're gonna have to get off the train. You're gonna have to let Willie take this to the station.
There's a spare shovel over there.
There's no station. There's no tracks. What are you talking about?
There's no
The
end.
station resides in the rectum of the demon. Because that's where I'm parking.
I don't know
So,
what you got.
Aces,
But
kings, queens, jacks,
Oh, shit.
because there's a jack.
Oh, this is not good.
oh fuck.
Oh no.
Right there, so everybody can see it.
He's a jackass. That is for sure. Sorry, I'm on a pun thing. I don't know what.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Extra punny
No, no,
tonight
this
for
is
some
We're
reason.
all
perfect.
a little weird tonight.
He
How very
reaches
funny.
behind himself, and probably Jett and Miss Alice. How about you in the trees there, Miss Alice? Why you move way over there?
Oh, sorry. I couldn't find my way back.
Okay, there you go.
I'm lost.
I'll just put,
I'm
I know
lost in
that's
the
where you want to be,
tunnels.
but I'm going to put you there so you can control yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to fade through that wall again.
Well,
What do
I
you
so
mean
I
control
figured out
yourself?
how to move them both at the same time. So I figured out how to move my token and the lantern.
Yes,
at
you
the
just
same time.
you can just grab them and move them, or you can actually group them if you use that other thing too. But never mind. Yeah, Baphomet reaches behind himself and his hand goes through the obsidian, and you hear the. You guys, I mean, if you've done it before, it's magma on the other side, essentially, right? He pulls his hand back and he's got like a fistful of it. but there's nothing stuck to him and there's no damage. And he takes a step forward and just hurls it towards you guys.
Oh shit.
The two of you are like, whoa, shit. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and it takes the lantern out of your hand. Just this lava ball just snaps it off right at the wires. And the wire, even as fast as it went by, the wire gets hot and you drop it. Oof. Shit. 10s. 9s. 8s.
Oh my god.
7s.
I swear to God.
Because there's a 7 here.
Wow.
It'll be
And
funny
he's
if we
gonna do
got
it
all
again.
the same card.
We all have 3s.
He throws another one. This one misses the two of you, skitters down the wall and out the end. And it's actually, nobody can see it, but it's sitting out in the grass just going.
Awesome.
As it shoots by Alice and like
So-
to the others behind her, she's like, "Find the hole."
Oh by me, just at the entrance.
Yeah, you're just coming in and say, oh, lift a foot, and it rolls past you like a cannonball.
Okay.
6s.
I got a 6.
Just a different.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
What suit?
Oh, no me de patre files.
Oh god, where'd it go?
Clubs? You hit it in the dark. I'll put it.
Oh
in here.
shit, yeah.
Everything.
Everything is dark. What are you talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So what would you like to
Um,
do?
Well, I haven't used any of them ghost steel bullets
Nope.
that Jett gave me in the beginning in
So-
my big fancy rifle.
Yep,
so-
go ahead and take that shot.
We gonna do the thing. Oh, I forgot I have a macro for this.
You can, yep. It does all the work for you.
Woo!
16, that does hit. 10 damage is enough to do exactly 1 wound to the left leg.
Take that.
And it does. He doesn't do a wind check. It's not necessary. He doesn't do wind. So
I'm-
yeah, you.
I'ma make him
bang,
do
and you shoot
wind.
him right in the thigh, and it goes through this stone armor. In fact, it's like there's a ting, and there's little bits of this stone shatter off, and the bullet does disappear into the hole, and there's a little bit of ooze comes out. But he just looks at you as no, and then he says, "It's done like this."
Oh fuck.
A 6 for the 3rd time.
No, the fuck it ain't, bitch.
He throws it at you. You twist to the side. You know that row of buttons that you have that holds that pocket shut
Yeah.
down the side of your, all of them, right along that
Oh,
seam.
shit.
Buttons everywhere. Stuff like makeup, your mirror,
That
some
son of a
some
bitch.
notes. Everything is just out of that pocket and all over the ground around you. But you yourself have a very warm line up the side of your leg, but it just missed.
Also, if it popped all the buttons on my dress is poofy now. Because I
Yep,
had it
so yeah.
button closed.
Yep.
So now it's a big fucking ball gown.
hmm And poof, Disney princess.
And she literally turns and she says, "Why, thank you. I needed some room to move anyway to kill you."
5s.
Oh my god.
4s.
Oh
3s?
I
my
have a 4. Sorry, I have a 4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
I have a 4 as well.
Okay. So Ellie, you step into the tunnel, and ahead of you, there's just been balls of magma firing out towards you. You
Yup.
can see the two of them, and beyond that, you can see what must be Baphomet lit up down at the end of the hall.
Oh, hold on. I have
Okay,
a 4
well,
as
I'm
well,
gonna-
just so you know.
Well, who's what suits are they?
I
I
got
have
diamonds.
Club and sorry,
I had clubs.
clubs. And what was
Diamonds.
yours? Diamonds.
Diamonds. I'll
The
get-
diamonds go first, technically.
Okay.
But you're on the train,
Okay.
so you're just shoveling. Yeah,
Do you want to get off?
you look up and you're just about to crest the hill, and it doesn't take a physics major to realize this train is not going to stay on the ground when it comes over that. You have, this would be, this is your last chance. Would you like to stay on or jump off of a train which is now doing close to 50 miles an hour up a hill into the darkness screaming?
Because jumping out could kill you itself, wouldn't it?
You look off to the side and you just see in the darkness trees just going.
Tuck and roll.
Actually, stumps.
Tuck and roll.
Worse than that, because this was where the fire went through. So just jagged stumps.
Can I just slow it down just a little bit?
No, we ain't slowing.
You start to slow down the shovel, and Willie just reaches out and grabs your wrist, and you look down at these mad eyes, and you just start shoveling again because
All right,
that's more
Captain!
dangerous. That's more dangerous than both of the other options.
There is only danger here.
3.
There is no win.
We are the danger.
Oh no, sorry, Ellie, you still get to go. Yep.
All right.
You hear behind you the scream. You saw it down at the bottom of the hill. The train is coming. There's a light coming up behind you.
How do you have the torch or whatever move with you?
Just go ahead and move down there. You should be able to see from everybody else's light source.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Or you can do a drop. You can just like drag. You know how on a desktop you drag to select, and then you can just
Yeah.
and then
There you
just move it.
Look at all them
Sweet.
cards.
Yeah, there's cards.
Get all
everywhere.
these cards.
There's
out
so
of the
many
way.
cards.
There we go.
Yeah, I guess I'll come right here. Can I mean, I guess I've got my pistol drawn, so I'll fire a shot towards him. Am I able to do that, or did I move too
Absolutely. Yeah. You see him up at the wall, just turning back, laughing at you guys. So yeah, go ahead and fire a shot.
far?
An 8. That does slam into him. Oh, that's beautiful. I like this very much. You as you're about to let go of the shot, that memory of him falling on you comes back, and you just see that huge gut coming towards you. It's even bigger now, and your shot just finds a crack in that armor and goes in. And you see it just go, and he does take 1 wound to his gut. So you see again a little tiny spot of ichor comes out. And he looks down. And then you get 2 shots, right? That was your second one, was the 11.
Yeah.
That one just bounces off the outside of his right leg. You just see sort of a little like flint and a stone, just a psh of sparks as the bullet bounces off. So that one does no damage. And 3s. Really? You got a 2? You got a 2? Okay. Well, you still get to go before Willie. So the mountain is shaking. Now, I mean, off to your left, if you remember, that part's all on fire. All those stalactites and stalagmites are on fire. There's the ghost train from hell coming up from the rear. Miss Alice and Miss Ellie just shot this thing to almost no effect. You couldn't damage it when you were down in the town with your attacks. It's standing in front of the wall. This female hand is jutting out, just shaking. You have no powers. Jett, what are you going to do?
Just so I'm clear.
Yep.
Cavern straight. He's in
Yep.
front of us. Is the hand behind or to the side?
It's off to one side. That area that's the size of a train that came out. It's off to one side. He's standing dead center right in front of it. So she's off to the side. If you were to go straight back, he would come out beside her.
So is he in between me and it? I'm sorry. I'm still trying to.
Yes, it's you, and then a space, and then him, and then the wall's right behind him, and she's sticking out of that wall, just a hand. You know what happens to flesh if it goes through this wall.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can do for everybody else. The train's coming. rolling around the bend.
Choo choo.
I ain't seen nothing since I don't know when.
And so
Any more than that, we have to pay copyright. Stop.
I don't. There's just a moment, and it's like I'd like to think like I just hear ringing. Like I can't hear anything. Nothing makes sense. But I see that
you can't
hand.
Think.
But I see that hand, and all I do is I'm either trying to run around him or like under him. However, I don't mean to cheese the system, but I know attacks of opportunity aren't a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get past him straight to that hand.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. You charge forward, you duck under his arm, he's like, what? And you hit that wall. And you are, for all intents and purposes, walking into lava, unprotected. You feel it coat you as your momentum carries you through.
Oh, well, I want to be very clear
Okay.
I'm not trying to run through it. I just.
Oh, you're trying to stop between him and the wall?
Well, her hand is out of the wall, correct?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
I'm just
it's still covered in the black obsidian, though, right? So to grab her hand, you would have to grab this obsidian.
That's fine. But yeah,
That's
essentially what I'm doing is I'm just running up and grabbing it and pulling. And if that means like with that force, I'm pulling myself into it, like that's that. But like that is what I'm doing.
You grab her hand and pull, and the obsidian goes rigid and shatters, and it's empty. And her hand appears on the other side. Bring him to me. Sorry, bring him to us.
Fine.
I'm going to give you one more action.
Oh, shit.
Because I want you to decide this before the train decides this.
Well, then that's what it was. It was just bared teeth, and it was just fun. And I just pull. God, I don't know how this is going to work, but all I can think to do is I just pull a lasso out and I throw it on him if I can. I got to remember
he's right there. You just reach up and wrap it around his neck and just pull tight on that noose. You got him.
And I'm pulling him into the wall. Like,
you fall back into the wall. And you got a foreshadowing of this. You drop back into that, it's heat beyond pain. Like you can smell yourself burning. And you keep pushing because as he crosses the line with you, you fall back into hell. You've been here before. You see it out of the corner of your eyes. I mean, it's exactly like they told you in all the books you've read. There's burning lakes of fire. There's tar dripping. There's souls screaming in agony. And you're one of them because you are dying wrapped in the lava from coming through that gate. Raven and Baptiste stand before you, talking calmly, which is really weird because Raven's long black hair is all burnt off. It's just stubble from the heat. Her skins are all covered in black burn marks. But she's just chatting casually to Baptiste. His hair is gone. His hat is like vibrating from the heat that's passing up of him and almost taking it off. He still looks almost 30 years younger than he normally does. And he's just chatting as the parts of his duster go black around him. And as you crash to the ground in here with Baphomet on top of you, Baptiste looks down, looks back at Raven and says, I believe our respective dance partners are here, miss. It's been an interesting conversation. If you'll excuse me. And she reaches down and grabs you and goes back through the wall. Back into the other room. You are still covered in this lava. And you can feel the spark starting to fade again. Third time. And she says, let me in. And she means inside you. You're muted.
Oh, I'm imagining I can't speak, but like the only thing,
She could hear you.
yeah, the only thing, like the one sentence running through my head is, "Are you gonna stay?"
No. Which has, you realize, multiple possible meanings. Your spark is fading. It's now or never.
There's a point where I just let go of, like, I guess, resistance, but I'm not like enthusiastic about it. It's just as simple as I'm dying. I don't need your snickering, Sean.
Sorry. Not happy about it.
What the others see, because you saw this, he goes through the wall. You know what happens when somebody goes through that wall, and a couple seconds later he comes back through with this burnt up, crisped up version of Raven, who most of you have seen. And she immediately leans over him and asks him a question, and he doesn't respond, and then she disappears, and the lava that was around him just goes and falls off in chunks.
I don't think Alice has seen her.
Maybe not. And he goes, and that cause of intec causes the rest of that lava skin, that magma to shatter as he draws a breath. Jett, you come back, but you don't come back as Jett. You are inside one of Jett's footprints, and all around you is death. But you are a strong little silver flower, and you can damn well stand up on your own. And so you do. And you wake up back in that cave. Raven's voice you hear from outside. I needed to be in the sun.
Yeah, Alice,
The end of the
Alice
cave
not knowing about
goes
any of that shit. It's like,
And then a light pours down the shaft. The bunch of you turn to the side, and the hell train is coming.
there's a long black train coming.
You have to stop there. We have to pay copyright.
John's gonna yell at you again.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a different train song.
So
There's so many train songs.
let's just basically do the same cycle here again in order. Jett, train's coming. You're on the floor. Raven is reconnected to you. You have your powers back for now.
Look at the smile on that boy's face.
It's not a smile. I'm angry. Don't confuse it.
Then why you smiling? Look at you.
Because I enjoy playing with you people regardless.
Hurtful.
What? What?
Do you think?
I don't-
What are you doing, man?
Thought I was sassy.
Baphomet is on the other side of the wall with Baptiste. You
Good, I
are
can hit
laying
them
on the
both.
ground. The train is coming.
I guess I'm running. Are Ellie and Alice like in the same area? Are they where?
Well, if you look up, if you look on the map, I'll put you where you are. You're kind of way up here. And let me grab a light source for you just so you can see. I know you didn't have one with you, but well, just so you can see what is actually up here. You should be able to control that now. So you've got these places to the left and the right where you could dive out of the way. You look back down the tunnel towards the now demonically glowing headlight is now fairly clearly visible, but it's above the cave, like it's airborne at this moment, starting to come back down. Yeah, and you see between you and them, pinned in that light, the rest of them, and where they're standing, there's lots of little notches off to the side where they could dive.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna run that way and just like, you know, be yelling, trying to tell them, be like, move, like, you know, off to the side. And if
You think we don't know that?
He starts running towards you going, because you can't hear it because all you can hear from behind you is woo and ah.
and yeah, if they don't, I'm gonna try to tuck into one of the sides unless one of them specifically does not make it, and then I'm gonna try to grab them and do something else.
All right. You guys are all busy leaping out of the way. Is anybody resisting Jett's instruction to leap aside?
I've just been waiting to have a chance to do
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Yep.
good to duck out of
Yeah,
the way.
I mean, your enemy is apparently gone at the moment, so you leap into those side, I'm not even going to move you. You leap into those side tunnels out of the way, which brings us to a very interesting point in this conversation. I want to start with the coal man, the man who is madly shoveling ghost rock into a now airborne 80-mile-an-hour hell train. You press that, and that is right beside you. His train hat is now somehow also like a Wild West cowboy hat, and he's got the mask on, like he's full bandito mode somehow. Maybe it's the ghost rock getting to your mind. You're in the air. You are flying through the air, arcing towards the entrance of this tunnel. Somehow he has done it in a thing that does not steer, and there's no rails. Willie has got this thing aimed exactly down this tunnel.
It's driven by my madness.
What are you
Apparently by
doing?
shoveling. Oh God.
You ever had a ride like this, Lucy?
Most
You look
certainly
down,
not, Captain.
Would it be fair to say when he looks down at Willie ain't getting off this train?
Willie
that fair
ain't
to
getting
say?
off this train.
Yeah.
Willie's got a mission, and it's at the end of the line.
I don't want a kid, man. I don't.
Ooh, this just got real.
So Lucius.
Oh God.
This is Willie's nuclear bomb, and he's riding it to the end.
Ghost steel. The skin's starting to come off the face. You're not even sure if you could save him at this point. The hair's all gone. The eyes are mad and glowing red. He's speaking in a language you've never heard. It's probably tongues of some sort.
Oh Jesus Christ.
What are you doing?
Come on now, boys. We gotta drive this train into the.
His accent is changing every couple seconds.
Crazy doofy.
You look up for a second, he's a newfie leprechaun. You look up again. For a split second, he's a huge, heavy-set man with a patch over one eye.
I need to get the fuck out of here now.
So you.
If I can save him, I will. But I don't think there's any easy way to do it because Willie would probably punch me in the face before I got a chance.
You lean down to Willie. Willie, he's trying to grab you and pull you off your train. What are you going to do?
Captain, we got to get the fuck out of here.
I was like, thank you for your service. 1 foot kick.
Alice, like as they're going by, Alice is like, Willie, your son.
I'll be back in a minute.
Don't forget Anastasia.
Lucius, I need a deftness check from you as you get kicked off an 80-mile-an-hour
Christ.
flying train in the darkness.
Okay, well.
In a narrow tunnel.
Just before. No, we're outside the tunnel
Oh,
still. This is
okay.
still flying through the air.
This is the time for him to like slap
Christ.
against the skin.
You shush. Don't take my Wile Kaido moment away from me.
Okay,
Roll.
hold on. Deafness. Where is deafness? Just a straight deafness?
Just a straight deafness.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
You pray to whoever you like. A 9.
It's not
Oh
enough.
my.
I'm going to be wasting some chips here. So
Well, you tell me. I'm not going to tell you what that.
I will add a white chip.
Okay, so
I'll
you the white chip means you get 1 extra die. So roll 1 and
Okay, let's go to take one.
just roll 1d, whatever your deafness is.
D6, I believe. Okay, so
Yeah, so roll 1d6. Usually keep 1 and roll 1d6. That's even worse. So you're standing. You can burn another one if you want. You can burn as many white chips as you want. It's just as soon as you burn a red or a blue, you're done burning whites.
Well, how about a blue chip?
Okay, so blue chip
I will
gives you you roll 1 and add it to that 9. So do a keep 1, another d6, and we add the result to the 9.
Okay, so I roll another d6 and I add it to the. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
And if this doesn't work, we'll lasso you.
Another 5, so that's a 14. Okay. Well, I have to ask, more, or are you done?
Why are you doing this to me, Kevin?
Because you're doing 80 miles an hour in free fall right now. That's what
It's true. I don't even think my thick skin and tough as nails might even save me. So
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Who thought Willie would be the death of us all?
I kind of had an inkling.
well, I will give up my last blue chip.
Okay. Roll 1 more d6 and add it. You're adding to a 14 at this point.
Please, Jesus.
19. Okay. You come off the train like you're just flailing because he kicked you. You were waiting for like an official, you were going to give him a speech and everything, but he just punted you off the train. And you
Now
hit
see
the
here.
kind of sideways and you start barrel rolling, just and just you kind of get 1 hip down, 1 foot down. You go to stand up and you think, I got this. I just got about 3 more steps, 2 more steps, 1 more step, and wham, right into the wooden 12 by 12 that holds the edge of the tunnel. And I mean, you're probably only doing 25 miles an hour by this point, and it catches you right on your right pelvis. And you
Boss is
feel the
broken.
bone just go, nope. And your right leg just 4 wounds to your right leg.
Okay.
Take care of my hat.
Well, can I use thick skin to take off 1 penalty? 1 wound penalty?
Yep. Well, that's a wound penalty. So if you choose to do anything in the next round, it'll only be at -3 instead of -4.
And tough as nails also negates about 10 wind.
Yeah, which you haven't even had to roll. I
Thank
didn't make you roll wind on this, although you would now that I mention it. Yeah, roll 4d6.
46.
Do a keep all.
Oh, I'm rolling 46. I gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
This is to see how much wind you take.
Oh God.
Or I can roll it for you if you want.
Got it.
46. You take 13 wind.
-10. So
-10. So 3, yeah. So yeah, wham! And you spin sort of partway into tunnel. That leg does not work anymore. Right? You take the weight on the other leg and slam against the inside of the tunnel and realize if you push back, the train is going to take your back off. It's right there. Just
It's better than if you would have stayed on the train, I'm telling you.
You look up and see this now flaming, like the ghost rock is coming out of the firebox and out through the windows of the train, the ghost train. You guys lying in the tunnels see it go by. Willie, I got a feeling that
Tonight's going to be a good night.
This might be kind of a moment. So I would like to hand the next, however long you would like it to take, over to Willie to tell us
Okay.
exactly how this goes.
Willie reaches into his coat and produces the bugle horn for his cavalry charges and blows the cavalry charge tune as this screams through the tunnel and through the hell portal. And as it streaks, I imagine it goes directly into hell.
At a height. And you're
Yeah.
arcing
And
through
it starts-
space down
so this
towards
is-
hell.
This is the train, the coal car, and the other cars, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, it's all back together again.
As soon as the engine is through the hell portal, Willie, with his rifle ready, runs up the coal car, points his rifle immediately looking for Baphomet, and what he wants to do is he wants to pop off 5 shots. Because what he's done while he was in New York is he carved the names of 5 men into his bullets, and he's going to give those to Baphomet now.
Give me 5 give me 5 shots and you may re-roll 3 of them,
Very well.
because I just gave you a legend chip and decided that that's worth 3 re-rolls.
All right.
Okay.
I think I'm going to
So,
need
yeah.
the 3 rerolls.
That's good, because 2 of them hit, 3 of them didn't. So yeah,
Okay.
give me 3 more.
1,
Uh,
2,
uh,
3.
Ah.
Oh, fuck off.
Aw.
You
Oh, well.
okay.
Well, all right. I
You
know.
start just emptying. Where are you standing?
What I want to be doing is I want to be making these shots while I've run up the coal car and running across the roofs of the passenger cars.
Yep.
And I'm going to
You
try
just-
to dive off the back of the caboose back through the portal into the main world.
Okay.
Because this train's going to go off when it hits the ground.
Oh yeah.
And I
so
say,
you-
because of course I imagine I see our friend there, the preacher.
You see Baptiste and Baphomet in a conversation.
All right.
It's
Well,
not a gunfight. They're talking.
okay, that just makes me angrier. I pop
Yep.
off my shots and I'm like, "What are you doing? Hit the son of a bitch!" And dive
You
out.
slam, you slam several rounds into Baphomet. A number, like you just empty your pistol as you're jumping, and a pistol or rifle. Whatever it is.
Rifle, and
Rifle
I mean,
says, as you're flying through
Yeah.
the air. A number of them go in and do damage here and there, bits and pieces, and he kind of jerks forward and jerks forward again. He
this
starts
that was
to-
for my boys.
he starts to kind of like they hurt, and Baptiste gets this huge smile on his face and reaches out, puts one hand on his stole and one hand on Baphomet, and looks at you, Willie, and goes, "Thank you kindly." And I need you to make a very difficult deafness check for me.
Okay.
please.
This
is
I'm
it,
fully
dude.
prepared. If this fails, it's almost better. If it succeeds, it's fucking legendary.
Oh yeah.
Where's deafness?
Second group on the left-hand side. It's a category all by itself.
Yep, there it is. Okay, well, I have 3 d8s in deafness.
Oh man, this is gonna have to be heroic.
I'm gonna pull it up so I can see it when it happens. Okay. Deafness. Go.
oh,
19.
oh shit!
That is that close to 3 raises. On the other side of the wall, the only one there, Jett. The train just and there's a window to hell open in front of you. The steam and the heat and the stench of all the bodies and the hatred and the pain and everything is just pouring out. And then you see 2 fingers and they start to slide towards the edge.
Probably just
You're
a demon.
muted.
It's fine. No,
fuck you, boy.
No, yeah. I mean, if I'm close enough, I'll run over and grab him. I guess. I'm in shock.
To do so, you will have to reach through into that world, even though the wall is gone.
Look, I've been trying to die today, not like on purpose, but like it's been that kind of day, so I'm not gonna stop now. So yeah, I will grab him.
Willie, you got 2 fingers, man. It ain't gonna work. You're sliding,
That's
and
not
then this hand comes in, turns to a skeleton, wraps around your wrist, and pulls, and your shoulder almost comes out of its socket.
Okay.
You start to scrabble and pull, and your clothes are burning off your body as
Oh,
you do so.
damn.
Your boots are melted, your trousers are gone, your jacket's gone all the way up to the waist.
It's hot as hell in here.
And Jett, you fall back into this space, and as Willie comes through, the rock behind it seals up. And you look over to the left, and all the fires go out. And it's only then that you notice that Willie is basically naked from the nipples down. Everything from there down has been burned off.
It's just
Why
Willie's
is
just
that
breathing
where we
heavy.
make the distinction?
No, it's fine.
He kicks him back in.
It's just, and Willie's just breathing heavy, and he just like pats on Jett. Oh, I knew I liked you.
Yeah, no hair left, eyebrows gone, skin all blistered up. Jett, you pulled your hand back, it's all mutilated and clawed up.
I could tell about people. You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Alice comes up to Willie and smacks him right in the face.
Ow, burns.
And she says, "You damned fool, you're gonna be a father. You can't be doing this stupid shit no more."
Package delivered.
He's just mad.
Who else wants a drink? I'm up.
And around you, there's a cracking sound, like rock moving. And you look sort of to your left and to your right, and this cave is starting to fill itself in.
Oh, we run.
Okay, time to go.
Not like a collapse, but more like it's like reverse Minecraft. The blocks are getting put back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go.
I'm getting the fuck out.
And you guys haul Willie to his feet and try to look him in the eyes.
I'm leaving that with Jett.
Yeah, the belly, the hairy little belly, and the pride of
he
Willie.
move?
Yeah.
I'm hobbling along. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
you
this isn't
guys
the
are
first time Willie
all-
had to run away naked.
Yeah, I mean, you're all burnt and crushed. You get to the entrance, and you see Lucius. He stands up and falls down. Stands up and falls down. Stands up and falls down.
Oh, I have one note.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pushing Willie along, and then when we're in that big cavern that's left, and I see that everybody's pretty much most of the way getting out, I'm just like, fuck y'all, and not them, the other direction, and I just sit that jug down and light it and just book it out with him and just
I love it. Magnificent.
I'm gonna help Lucius stand.
Yeah, you grab Lucius and get outside. You guys get out into that clearing. And remember the very first time you were in this clearing, there was that dead man on the X at the end of the rails. That's all gone. In fact, as you come back out, the desolation is gone. The clearing is green grass. There's no sign of rails. There's no sign of poison. And as you clear the tunnel and step out into the open, it closes up behind you like some complicated origami made out of stone. And a couple seconds later from inside, you hear ding, 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 ding. And then that continued sound of a mountain healing itself behind you. You walk over to that ledge and look down the valley. and all the trees start to come back. And I don't mean just the ones down the side of the track. Paradise itself starts to disappear, to be replaced by a forest, a pristine park area by a lake. Be a beautiful place to put a town.
And
There isn't one there, except for 2 buildings looking strangely out of place.
One
The end of the
saloon.
line saloon.
Yeah.
And the Paradise Dispatch. Everything else is gone. It's green. It's beautiful. It's a late summer day. And you hear behind you. And you turn around and there's this little old man. Imagine Miner, and that's who it is. He's all hunched over. He's got his little overalls on with no shirt underneath. Black coal dust smeared all over his face. He's got a bucket in one hand that's full of black rock and a little hammer in the other hand. What are you city folks doing up here? You all beat to hell.
How long have you been here?
Mostly my whole life. 82 or 83 years, something like that. How the hell did you get up here?
We took a train.
And he looks over at you and scans you up and down.
I just laugh hysterically at that. Like,
He looks at you up and down and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this remarkably clean white hanky and hands it to you.
Like,
Like
it's
he's-
just like.
Yeah. Use your belly to kind of hold it in
Yeah,
place
yeah,
and
yeah,
create a
yeah.
little sort of a loincloth out of it.
Little
Yeah, that was
loincloth
his-
situation.
Yeah.
I
Alice is-
wobble up to Willie and say, "I believe this is yours, Captain." Just put his hat on.
Oh, thank you kindly for that. You're a fine coal scoop. And I apologize for kicking you.
No, thank you. That was one hell of a ride. Oh, wobble back.
So
And
this
this
guy
old
says
guy's
he's
just
been here
looking
for
at you.
80 years. What
Yeah.
the fuck? And Alice just said, "What is this place?
This here's my mine.
What's
My daddy's before me." He holds
What's
up
your
the bucket
name?
of coal.
What's your name?"
Festus Cooter, ma'am. Which is the name of the guy who had his claim jumped.
Yeah. So are we back in time? What the fuck is happening?
What
What year is it?
year is it, good sir?
My 1777, of course.
It most certainly is not, in my recollection.
That's what year it is, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought.
Nope, 1777. Or
My
sorry,
apologies.
1877. Sorry,
Yeah, I was
missed by a
like-
Yeah, I
century.
was like,
Sorry,
I was
100
like,
years
wait a
ago.
minute.
Fucking-
It is
No, I was looking at all these
1877.
faces and they're all going, "Whoa!" I didn't say anything that prophetic, but yeah, 1877. Yes.
Do you know the people in those buildings down there? Do you know them?
And he looks down the hill. He says, I don't get down there much, but that fella in the bar there, he buys my coal."
So you should not build a town there.
This is,
I
a,
ain't
Yeah, I
planning on
agree.
it, miss.
this is not what
You should
Fine.
also
I'll
not
build it.
build.
hobbles down the mountainside. The best time of my life in this town. Y'all crazy.
Yeah, we're the
You
crazy
guys
ones.
look
Yeah.
around and the mine is gone. There's just a little crack in the rock like there was when you first got here. There's no steam or smoke coming out.
I turn to Jett and I'm just like, do you have any idea, feeling?
I have a feeling I need to go take a walk. And with that, I'm headed off to the woods, not towards town, just off.
Okay, so hold on. And Alice is still on this. The rest of the
Everybody
The
just
little old man's
accepts
talking
it.
to you. You're
Alice is
making
like,
sense. Little old
"Wait
man's
a minute."
talking to you.
she's like, so you look, I have a feeling that if somebody
Take
is
your
going,
time, miss. People sometimes call me slow too. Go ahead. Take your time.
I have a feeling that somebody is going to smack you if you talk to them like that again, and that would be me. But also, you need to keep a close eye on this.
This
On
what, miss?
the mine. I have a feeling that
My
somebody's gonna, when you discover what's in there, somebody's gonna try to take your claim.
Ain't nothing in there but coal, miss. And there ain't a hell of a lot of that.
Just be careful.
You're
All
absolutely,
right, miss.
you're absolutely right. Maybe perhaps, maybe I want to buy that mine.
You left.
Hang on. As soon as I learn that this guy ain't interested in his coal mine anymore, that's another scenario altogether.
Just because of the time, as you guys walk down the hill, he accompanies you. And the conclusion that you draw from this is that he tells you there's no ghost rock here. There's never been ghost rock here. He has no idea what you're talking about, any town called Paradise. There's just those two buildings.
Who would put a
Can I do like an insight check? Which would be
I mean, you've got all the time in the world to pick this guy's brain. So what you put together, I guess,
pick his brain.
We'll do a sort of a lore drop here, sort of thing.
Because Alice is not letting this go.
No, and it's going to take you a while to put it together. But what you put together is basically that the Ghost Rock Mountain that existed right next to Paradise was only a result of Baphomet breaking through from an alternate dimension. On the way here, he managed to pick up a soldier and his artificial man on the cowcatcher as he came through alternate dimensions. And when he smashed into this dimension, he brought him with him. That dimension smash on the way here resulted in all the damage. But it's not really an alternate reality in so much as a reality that only a certain group of people experience. Baphomet started to break through over 100 years ago and has only just recently managed it. So this place has become more and more soaked in ghost rock in all those years. It was literally a mountain of the stuff poisoning the land around here. And by closing the door, and by putting everything back, including the train, which was the part I was interested in, whether you were going to put it back or not, you managed to reseal that door. By so doing, the ghost rock is back where it belongs, far, far away from here.
Fist bump to Willie.
Ow, 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 ow. Still a little tender.
And as you get to town, you see Dan Comfort steps out of the dispatch with a telegram in his hand. And he just walks up to the bunch of you and turns it around and shows you. And it says, City of Lost Angels abandoned. And there's a picture of a ghost city. You recognize it, Lucius. It's the City of Lost Angels, but there is not a soul around in any. There's 2 or 3 pictures.
Oh,
And in the
very
background of
pale.
one, there's a huge wooden tripod, like massive. It must have been made from like 1,000-year-old trees. And off of that, there's a wire. And you know from where the picture is taken, from where you've been, that that wire goes out over the ocean to the fractured lands.
I need to go home.
And Alice is so incredible. She's like looking at Dan and she's like, are we not going to talk about the giant forest that just popped up out of nowhere?
Kind of nice. I don't know. I mean, good place to build a cabin. Is there any good fishing in the lake?
There's excellent fishing in the lake, sir. And he looks over at Miss Alice and says, fuck this. Madam, I told you, alternate dimensions.
This is so fucking weird. All right. Lucius, would you like some company? Because I need to get the hell out of here.
Yes, please.
Wait,
And I need a drink.
I need to look for Anastasiya.
As you say that, the ground starts to shake.
Okay, I don't have to go to Russia. I can come with you.
You just brace yourself. And yes, the upshot of that, after the very fond and robust embrace, she explains to you that in the process of everything disappearing, the shop that she just built onto the side of this lovely saloon disappeared. And now she's got all this stock and nowhere to sell it. So she's thinking, I might as well come with you.
Oh, come on, baby.
can-
We're going to go to Lost Angels. I need to help Lucy. I kicked him out of a train.
Willie, you don't have to go. I mean, you don't have to go, Willie.
No, I
you
still
want to
need-
stay
I-
here and
I done,
make
I
a
done
lot.
kicked Lucy out of a train. I owe him one.
Well, you
And,
kind
baby,
of saved my
you should-
life.
Yeah.
I will start business wherever you will lead, my Tsar.
You are just the sweetest thing. You should have seen me. I done shot the devil. I shot him at least 5 times.
And Alice kind of she like looks at Anastasia and she's kind of like Horosho, which is Russian for good. She's like, it was pretty good. But she says it in Russian, so Willie doesn't fucking know that she's complimenting him.
And I think as we open the doors and head into, unless anybody doesn't want to go, we head into the end of the line saloon for drinks all round.
Alice
On
is
a
gonna
job well done.
take a
and
moment with Dan.
Yep. Mhm.
Uh,
He stays outside with you.
and she's gonna say, Mr. Comfort, or are we done with that now?
I think we're done with that, madam. Please call me Daniel.
Daniel, any desire to go back home?
I was thinking I've spent enough time in Podunk Towns. I understand London's lovely this time of year.
I hear that as well.
Fate is an odd thing, Miss Alice. And even without alternate dimensions, strange things happen.
That's
I
true.
suspect I'll see you again, although I can't imagine how.
Well, like you said, fate finds a way.
It has been a pleasure, Miss Alice. And he reaches out a hand in the fashion asking you to lay yours across his so that he can kiss the back of your hand formally.
Yeah, she does it.
And he does it correctly. and releases your hand. Says, I'll be off then. I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to disappear when I do. And he points at the Paradise Dispatch building.
And Alice says, damn shame that.
Put out some good stories. Oh, here's the recipe. And he hands you the recipe for how to prepare ghost rock or ghost steel.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find
slides.
some now.
Yep. There's none here. There's lots on the West Coast, though, in the fractured lands.
And she turns and, like, without looking back, she says, I'll see you soon, Daniel.
And you go out the door.
In his
by the
syntax.
time you-
She says it in his syntax, his accent.
Yep. And by the time you get to the end of the line saloon, Daniel and the dispatch are gone, replaced by a small thicket. The rest of you walk in. The Charlie has got his hat back on, so he's young and charming and behind the bar, and drinks are already poured, and he already knows what you want.
I'm gonna hang by the door and just kind of watch the woods just to see if I can spot when Jett comes back, if Jett comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be looking at that letter that I got from my aunt, and I think to myself, I need to find Baptiste. He's going to want to know about this.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime,
Miss Alice?
I go up to...
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I go up to Ellie and go, you have a moment. I think I have some things I have to talk to. Probably all of you, actually, about. For now, let's just drink.
Best idea I heard all day.
And the drinks
I
start to flow.
I toast Willie.
So let me just go around the room. Miss Alice. None, some, many? Drinks.
Maybe one.
One. Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of reflective.
Lucius?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be drinking. Before I do that, I also tell Alice, like, oh, by the way, you're I'm sorry, I'm about drawing a blank.
It's okay.
Your photo. Why can't I get the word? I'm just going to say photo box. Yes, I'm making up words.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Camera?
Sure.
On the
Camera.
back of your camera. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't say camera.
It's all good. All good.
I'm already drunk. Okay. It's on the back.
Just wait till you get old, and that shit happens all the time.
It's on the back of
pasta.
desk.
Oh, fuck it. Send me the pepper.
I imagine she's already found it and taken it back.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
say
Lucius,
that.
yeah.
I'm gonna have quite a few.
And she
Yep.
pats it like she's got it in her hand, and she's like,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Willie, you and Anastasia. I mean, she's going.
Yeah,
She's Russian, so
we're
is
cuddled
just
up in
the
a
day.
booth, and
Yeah.
No sense of who might be seeing or whatever. We're just
Still got no pants on.
enjoying ourselves.
Not dressed yourself yet.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
kind of, for propriety's sake, you're in the booth first, and then she went in after. So
yeah.
We'll just do that so that Sarah doesn't have to imagine that image again.
And like before that's a thing, Alice does walk up to Anastasia, and she with her one drink, she kind of toasts with her, and she says, she looks at her and looks at like her pregnant belly and looks at Willie, and she says, amazing what $100 will do. And then she just
grins. Yep.
clinks.
Mm-hmm.
And just because she never told anybody.
Yep.
So only Anastasia knows, and so
she just grins at you and clinks back. She clinks with the whole flask, right?
Yeah.
And has like 5 or 6 ounces. Yeah. So that leaves us with a man on a mountain. Take us out, man. What's happening with Jett?
I don't know. I mean, I just wander in the woods, not really knowing what to think. So I think it's one of those things where I just kind of walk, and I think I end up in whatever that glade was. It used to be a rundown church, but I don't know if
Okay.
there's anything there.
Yep. Where you met the Wendigo.
And I probably end up there before I just stop walking, and I probably just sit for a while.
And you see, after a little while, that young man that left when you were here the first time when you killed the Wendigo. And he's sitting on a fallen log, kind of looking over at you, looking confused. And then beside him, there's a flutter of feathers. And Raven comes down in Raven form and lands beside him. And then into human form. And she looks over at him with a big smile on her face. And she reaches up and scruffs his hair. Good to see you're back. And she looks over at you and says, thank you.
I don't know what I did, but you're welcome, I guess.
Look around. What do you see? And on every leaf, there's that symbol that you saw before when you were up here, the one that you saw disappear off every surface, every natural surface when this young man left the area. It's all back. Thank you. You did this.
I'm glad I could help.
We're going on a trip, aren't we?
Maybe.
And she in Raven form and lands on your shoulder, and she kind of has to tuck under your hat, and she's kind of crouched there, and she just and push, and your hat falls off the other side so she can stand up straight on your shoulder. And she just leans into your ear and she says, no, we're going on a trip.
Whatever you say.
And she grabs your ear and pinches it, and it hurts. And she goes, to get you to stand up.
Ow. And
then she flies away, and you hear, don't forget your hat.
Yep. Then I lean down and grab it.
And you turn it inside to go to put it on, and you look inside. And in the bottom where it was stitched before, where it was needlework, there's now a real little gray flower, little silver flower in there. And that is where we're going to end season 1 of Poisoned Paradise.
Well, I shot a man in paradise because it was foretold.
Well, why don't we get set up for this? Why don't we get set up for this draw, and then I'll explain what's going to happen with Deadlands over the course of the next couple of weeks, and we can then do the draw if that works for everybody.
Yeah, so if y'all been lurking in the chat, now's the time to say something in the chat. Say anything in the chat. Oh, thank you for the bits. No, just kidding.
Thank you.
So yeah, go ahead and get that, and just any chat activity will get your name in, and then we will poll.
I like that one. Holy shit, my dudes. I will take that. So I can put something in chat.
Yeah. Yes, and this is for the hex chest, the beautiful aromatic cedar hex chest with the Mercs of Mischief logo on it. It is wonderful. It is the last one we have to give away. You must, you simply must get in on this. So
you must. And while you do, that was our season ender of Deadlands. So we are going to take next week off. as sort of a decompression week. I think we need it. I certainly do after that. I just made a whole town disappear.
Technically, we did that, but whatever.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. And whatever makes you sleep at night.
Not this game.
Not this game, no. But we're going to come back in 2 weeks, and they are. We're still going to be Poison Paradise, of course, because that's never going to change. But this bunch is, if I may give away a bit of a spoiler, we're going down a different rabbit hole next week because these people are Hollywood bound. And that's what we're calling season 2. So
All
Miss
right.
Alice is going to Hollywood before Hollywood was a thing. Yes, I'm
She
setting
gon-
you up. Please.
Why you
invent
think it's
for me,
Hollywood?
if you
Because
would.
Alice showed up.
Last moment to get in. If
I
you've been
can
looking, get in right now. We're
finally
gonna roll the
Open up
winner here.
Slick Willie's erotic picture show.
Stop!
Yep.
We're out of ghost still plates.
Oh no, what a shame! All the
We-
Those
ghost
shirts will
steel
be
We
the
sent him
giveaway.
back, and now there's no more.
Those shirts will be the
ghosts.
giveaway for season 2.
Slick Willie's erotic picture show. You'll be glad you came.
All right, here we go. Time for a winner.
Who's our
Roll it.
winner? BJ.
Oh,
Yeah.
BJ!
Hey!
I love
Well,
that.
there you go,
Long-time
BJ. You are the proud owner of the one of 3 exclusive Mercs of Mischief hacks.
All right, you are now obligated to bring that to every game night and tell people where you got it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anna said, it was if this finale was this intense with no context, hot damn. Like, girl, you don't even know.
Hey, if you are in the Edmonton area, make
Callbacks
sure you
and
jump
shit.
into our Discord because sometimes they do meetups.
Yeah, we get together.
Night meetups.
We get together from time to time at the game
Right.
shops.
And yes, BJ, you might have to knife fight Puck.
Yeah, well, look, I mean,
just because he might try to find you and take it.
no, look, we're getting together next weekend. It's gonna be fine.
You'll be the one in the hell train. You'll be easy to
Yeah,
spot.
Choo choo.
It doesn't say
That's
choo
right.
choo. It says ah.
No, look, but the choo choo is Willie in the train saying
Yes.
choo choo.
I'm just imagining the Aztec death whistle.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if you've not heard that,
Yeah.
look it up. It is the most horrifying sound, and it sounds like demons screaming.
You know what's
Can-
the most horrifying sound is when I heard Willie's gonna be back in tonight's game.
Listen, I want to set up, which I totally say Kevin obviously can veto, but I want to set up this little epilogue. It's like the night falls, and up on the mountain, out of that little crack in the rock, 2 horrifyingly flimsy puppet arms are flailing out, clawing their way out, and this weird little man starts to come out from the crack.
You know
in
what
the-
I'm mad about? Can I just say, Marty could have given us a heads up. Okay, Marty knew what was gonna happen. He could have given us some kind of heads up about
That
this.
son of a bitch.
Fucking asshole.
When you have been alive as long as I have, you can tell me who should and should not know what.
You should have and should have not.
It was
Of
a need
course.
to know, and nobody needed to know. Wow. Let's get back to some official business.
Also, one real quick thing before you
Yes.
do your sign offs and stuff. We've joined a team
Oh,
of
yes.
the Tabletop Gaming Network, and so stay tuned. Afterwards, we're going to be rating our friends over at Playing Board Games who are playing Call of Cthulhu.
Aha.
Oh,
So
Very
stay
nice.
tuned for that, and check out the other members of the team. Saving Throw Show is amongst them. One you might have heard of. Some other folks like Mercs of Mischief, they're pretty cool.
They're
Twist
so
Gaming,
cool.
Late Night Tabletop, Crit Camp. So check them out. Lots of fun people.
absolutely. Yes. And hopefully they're still playing and we can raid them. So with that, my fellow storytellers this evening, I've got the source here. I don't have to tell you guys about Sunday and Monday because I got the dude what does it here tonight.
Oh yeah, me.
Puck playing Willie. Yeah. Give us a heads up on what we're doing on the other nights of the week here on the channel.
Other nights of the week on the channel, we do our Dungeons and Dragons game. We have the Mercenaries of Mischief on Sunday nights, and they are headed over to Dragonspear Castle because they got a hot tip on some dragon cult activity. And if you're on the Twitter, you might know what's coming. And on Monday nights, we've got Too Many Warlocks, which features Kevin in a player role and Jett as his soft boy persona Pen.
Soft boy necromancer. That's
yeah,
kind of
and they
important.
are currently dealing with a serial killer that specifically targets warlocks and turns them into jam. So, not like delicious fruit jam, like basically a liquefied human being. But
You're
anyway,
right. That was actually tested because we have a Redan now. So yeah, that was tested.
Are you sure it's not jelly? Because jam don't shake like that.
Oh dear.
So definitely tune in for that. Also, this Saturday we have a special game called Mall Kids, which we are playing with the game's creator, Matthew. He's got a bunch of stuff up on his board, and we'll be advertising that. But it's basically an narrative RPG where we just play kids in a mall. And I am so down for it because I pretty much grew up being abandoned in West Edmonton Mall. So this hits home.
Be some therapy on Saturday night.
Yeah. There's some, it's still fresh.
And then in the bottom row, Miss Alice played for us by Sarah. You got a thing coming. Why don't you tell us about that? I don't think we got a hard and fast date yet, but why don't we spoil everything else right now?
All right. I'm soon, I don't know when yet, going to, because my schedule's crazy. I'm going to be doing my table flip, and we're going to be playing Clockwork. So Victorian steampunk. If you're interested in knowing more about the game before my table flip, we have a show of it on our channel. We have an interview with the creator of the game, and our show was run by the creator of the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super fun.
It's your turn.
Shut up. I hate you, Kevin. I hate your smug face.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great. You get to play with me, Robin.
I hate it.
On the other side of the screen.
I love you as my DM, but God damn it.
But I hate you as a person.
As a player.
We'll be fine.
I hate all of his PCs.
I
hate Robin. I hate
will
Willie.
tell people up front, I'm a terrible player.
And that, folks, is part of what makes table flip so much fun. In the middle on that bottom row, we've got Jett, played by Sky, otherwise known as Noctum Sky. You haven't done a lot of that recently, but that's because you've been extraordinarily busy doing lots of stuff for us. On where? Why don't you tell us about that?
The Mercenaries of Mischief YouTube. If you haven't been there, go there. Subscribe, like, comment, do all those things. High energy and whatnot. That kind of stuff. No, seriously,
you're not supposed to read the stage directions. You're supposed to do them.
No, seriously, though, go check us out. And for all you new people out there who don't know, we have a wonderful little one-shot playlist with a little-known gem called These Thieving Bastards. And it is worth every shitty moment. And I mean that in the most literal sense.
You are that show's biggest fan.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody that wants to know what Puck was talking about when he may have mentioned certain qualities he possesses as a player, that is an excellent opportunity to see him in full flight. And it was magnificent.
I was watching
a soon-to-be extinct species of dinosaur make its pass into the sunset. It was amazing.
Also, Elusa Rolda prequel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get some Rolda info.
That is where Rolda came from. Absolutely.
Rolda was great.
Rolda is great.
Is great. Yeah. The Rolda 2.0 is amazing. So check out. That's Sunday nights for that. So and then I will quickly mention one thing I am doing over on Dirty 20 Gaming on Thursday nights. Me and some other friends. I have other friends. They're gaming friends too. We are playing
right
Iron Sworn in co-op mode, which means there's 4 of us and nobody's in charge. We're telling the story together with no narrator. So if that sounds interesting and you want to watch 4 people take something fairly simple and make it really complicated, that was a lot of fun. We will be doing that Thursday nights, 7 o'clock, right up against you know what. Don't watch them, watch us. We're more interesting.
Ooh.
And with that, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for playing and co-creating this world with me. We are off to co-create a whole new place starting in 2 weeks, not next week. So take a week off, have a breath, and we will see you in 2 weeks as Poison Paradise is Hollywood bound. Good night.